8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Complete.
It's the end, but the moment has been prepared for. And the multi-dimensional portal, for the last time this year, is open. Konnichigen is your favorite superstar, the multi-dimensional Tajigen Kaiden, a sentient star cluster in virtual form. Whoa. Hold on. I am getting sick again for the upteenth time this year, and it's gonna carry over into 2023, I guess. But man, I was holding myself back from sneezing there. Well, happy last day of 2022 and first day of 2023, depending. Hold on. I know, Vermilion. I'm gonna drink water. I have drunk a little bit of orange juice actually, here and there, but yeah, I need to get some extra today. Probably after the stream. I'll prepare some. I haven't prepared some. The only problem is that it takes a while to prepare. Oh no. Holding in that sneeze was not good. We're not starting the stream well. It gave me this weird pain of sorts. This weird sting in my throat and nose. As I hopefully it goes away, because I gotta talk a lot. This is a Zatsudan stream. But yeah, Vermilion, hope you are well. But yeah, I've been preparing it like it's just the pure juice from the oranges, just squeezing them, and what comes out is like just the juice. I don't add any water to it, it's just it as it is. But it takes a while to prepare, that's the big problem with it. But I'll do it after the stream. It's still quite early, so first of all, sorry about the delay. We had to move the time a little bit forward. It was gonna be at 12 PM Eastern time, but now it's 3 PM Eastern time, 2 PM Central time, and I believe, well, it is at least 12 PM in Pacific. And then Japanese Standard Time, it's 5 AM already of January 1st, but it works out, and then, Central European Time, I don't remember, but it's gotta be somewhere like 9 PM, I think. Yeah, I think it's 9 PM actually. 2100, if you will. Anyway, we got some things to talk about today. If you have thought about resolutions, then now is the time to start talking about that. 1500 Eastern Standard right now? Yes. Yeah, like, I usually, when I announce the stream on Twitter and Discord, I have this part of the message that says start time, and I say all the time zones, but usually I use a time zone converter. But after doing it for so long, you start learning, and on the schedule that I have every week, I also put 3 times. I would put more time zones if I could figure out how to do it. I probably should try to figure it out. Sometimes I see VTubers just put no more than 3, as I do. Sometimes I see other people just go on like 16 time zones, and it somehow still looks good in the graphic. I don't know how they do it. I mean, I'm amateur at graphic design. I do my best though with what I have. And it's a great help to have places like Okumono. You know what, that reminds me, I said the other day I wanted to buy something from them. So they have a myriad of free backgrounds, but they also have some backgrounds that are paid, and it's just a very, very small amount of money. And well, of course, you can't get them for free. They're very different from the other ones. They look so good though. You can find them on booth.pm, just as you would for like Vroid, like assets and stuff, right? They're there too. Many other VTuber places and VTubers themselves also have their own merchandise and goods in their in-booth. It's great. I need to start considering releasing something there eventually. Hi. But well, if you haven't thought of resolutions though, going back to what we were talking about, you can think about them with me, because I have a few things in mind, but then there's some other things that I feel like I'm gonna have to come up with. And I need to find this document where I put the 2022 resolutions. There's supposed to be a notepad. Actually, let me see if I can find it right now. Oh wow, I found the 2021 resolutions. I can't find the... Hold on. Maybe it's on the same one. I tend to do that sometimes. Okay. Wow. Wow, okay. I'm kind of looking at some of those. It's kind of funny, but where are the places where the 2022 ones? I can't find them. So this time I'm going to try to avoid losing this one so we can look at it next year, ideally. Hello there, Mist. Glad you could make it too. How's your new year? 2 hours and 15 minutes until midnight. I thought it was New Year's already. I was just asking you, how's your new year? But no. Are you still looking to do that grind for that relic on FF14? You maniac. Oh my goodness. Just reminded of the day yesterday. So far today has been kind of busy, but kind of messy too. I haven't had time to really think about yesterday, funny enough. But of course now here on the stream, yeah. Started working on it, very nice. There's your January right there. There's your first month of the year. Down 15, haven't stored fates so far. Ooh. That's so you have to do fates? Is that what you have to do? Fate grinding. Man, like watch a stream, like watch me while you're doing it, play some music, play an audiobook, because it gets grindy. When it comes to a grind like that though, that's what I tend to do. And it works out so nicely. And Boss Ja as well, right. You mentioned Boss Ja. I didn't know you had to do fates though. That's interesting though. That's the first I hear, or I may have forgotten if it was mentioned before, but that's the first I hear that that you get some cosmetic rewards like that, or it contributes to that from fates. What I hear people do fates for, besides the experience of doing them for the first time each, maybe, as I once kind of did, is just to get experience, just to level. There are some people out there that mostly use fates to level up. There's all sorts of ways to do that in FF14. I think some are indeed more efficient than others, but I think fates still works out quite nicely, at least from what I've heard. And with fates, you know, you don't have to wait for a daily reset or something like that. You just reset and go for it. Maybe with somebody else or maybe alone. They start dropping items once you get the relic quest for it. Okay. But yeah, other things we're gonna look into. By the way, the background song right now, it's called Running Out from the Synthwave Stream Beats. It used to be the opening theme of the stream. You know how I say the multidimensional portal is open and then boom, the song kicks in? It used to be with this one. Let me restart it to give you an idea. The multidimensional portal is open. And then it transitions into the screen. But the wait was too long right there. Because what I say is very short. It's just multidimensional portal is open. Like, I don't say anything else there. And then you just have the music, and then I don't know, it didn't work out as well as the other one. Roll Me in Stardust is the name of the other one. It's just a nice little cherry on the top that it has a name that's fitting for me and the stream. In this case, it drops Tortured Memories of the Dying. Like, what are those item names? These item names, they sound like very epic items, like purple items. Seriously. You have those kind of fancy names for those sorts of things. I remember something like that in Lotron, or well, not entirely like that, but yeah. Or no way, it's more like Axe of the Seven Stars or something. No, yeah, it's like the of the... hopefully you get the similarity. Sometimes I feel like I'm not making sense when I talk here. But yeah, anyway, the other things we're gonna look into here, of course, are the massively OP MMO awards. I mentioned them before. We saw them on a previous stream earlier in the month. A week or two ago, it hasn't been that long, but now that the year is over, now that the final day of the year is here, they've been doing one every day. They should have the MMO of the year, but we're not gonna look at that until... I'm gonna try to open them. And actually, yeah, let me begin doing that right now. Let's see. Oh, I see an MMO lifetime achievement. Very interesting. Let me see. Because there should be some, there should be an archive somewhere. There should be a post that has like all of them just archived together. But I can't find it. The actual name of the weapon is Augmented Tailkeeper. Okay. So then why does the weapon change? Oh, well, it's an item. I don't know. An item that goes into the weapon, I assume? The tortured memories of the dying. So, alright, ooh, I'm seeing a very interesting column. What MMO theme music gets you pumped to log in? Man, you know which one did that for me? The, what was it called? Lotro Legacy? In Lotro that they had before Mordor came out. And I think this one came out with Helm's Deep. It always got me so pumped. Especially when I'm creating a character and it gets into the later part of the song. Or, well, I'm just in the login screen for whatever reason and I'm still there and it gets into that part of the song. Yeah, so good. I can't do it justice with my little humming there. I can link to the wiki page for the weapons. The weapon changes, yes, including its name. Ah, gotcha. No, that's alright. Well, you can link it. I don't know if I'm gonna read a lot of it though. That's that's just it, missed. But I mean, I am looking into things on my browser right now, so it's a good time for that. I'm looking for the article. I see most anticipated MMO. But I don't know if I can find something with just a list. I guess okay. I can scroll down one of these articles and it just gives you the list at the bottom, I think. Yeah, okay, I think I got it. Maybe not in the best way, but... Alrighty. I think we are ready to go into the MMO of the Year awards now. So let's do that. First though, give me a second here to adjust the screen here. And well, yeah. I think I already have an idea of what next week is gonna be when it comes to the schedule of the stream. As long as everything goes as normal. I only don't know what one of the days. We can go back to Japanese practice on Saturday, next Saturday, which is the 7th, right, of January. And then, what else? Final Fantasy Friday, of course, the first of the year. First Final Fantasy Friday. All the F words there. It's fun. What else? What was I gonna say? Before that, on Thursday, the Pokemon Kalos League building. And before that is the only day I haven't decided. That's when we may have just anything in general, right? Yeah, like what should we play? Maniacs, Fall Guys, Smite, Fortnite maybe. It's about time I return to that. That's my New Year resolution 2023. Return to Fortnite. No, just kidding. Well, anyway, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe Lotro. Maybe it's time to return to an MMO. Just temporarily, though. I still gotta give a focus to Final Fantasy 14. Or maybe FF14 on Wednesday. Although I would... Since we kind of agreed yesterday that, okay, yeah, Friday is when Kaiden is gonna be there. I wouldn't be doing the Crystal Tower. There's gotta be other things to do, I think, that are not group content. I don't know. That are quest related. I could do side quests. The Fortnite is under siege. Yeah. I get it. The fort is under siege. I get it, but I don't remember where it's from. Was it a strategy game? Was it Team Fortress by any chance? Remind me, Mist. Funny enough, I mean, Fortnite is called that way because the original game is a PvE survival experience, so you actually build a fort and it actually gets under siege. You don't know? I remember it must have been Age of Empires or Civilization? No, I don't think it's Civilization. You started that by yourself. What? I could have sworn I saw it in a video game. Well, regardless, it works. It works. Or no, wait. I'm thinking of Empire Earth, where they're like, we're under attack. We're under attack. You know, I actually had that game from GOG. Haven't played it in a while. I don't remember if it was this year or last year that I played a little bit. Wanted to go through a full game or something. But what's fun about that is that, kind of like Civilization in a way, is that you go from prehistoric ages all the way to a nanite space age. But if you want to see all of that in one game, it's gonna take you like 5 hours from what I recall. That's the problem. You know, I should take a look at the GOG sales they've got going on right now. Ho ho ho. I'm gonna make a note of that. Alright, let's start taking a look at all the MMO awards. Some of these we already saw. I'm gonna blaze through them a little bit quickly. Oh, here we go. Here is there we go. Here's the archive. We'll do it based on this. We'll do it based on the archive here. Hold on. Well, yeah, look at this. What MMO theme music gets you pumped to log in? Some of my favorites include Old School Ultra, the first iteration of World of Warcraft. I agree. For me, that gets me pumped to log in. Hold on. Yeah, it's so good. There is a place for like very gentle music, like Final Fantasy XIV, but for the most part, or really Lotra right now, but for the most part, I prefer those that are like just very upbeat or rather very battle-like, already like battle music, like that World of Warcraft login theme, like Lotra Legacy, as we said. Many people are mentioning theirs, but I don't even know what they are. If they link it on YouTube, though, that's a different story. Wow, Ragnarok Online. I don't even remember what it was for Ragnarok Online. Lotra Legacy, though, yeah. You know what? You know what? Let's play it. Let's play it. Give me a second here. And you'll find out why it gets me pumped up so much. Again, so many MMOs I wish would do this, including Lotra. I wish they gave you the option to just choose your login music after the latest one has been out for a while, at least, right? Maybe you have to do something in game to unlock it. I don't know. You need to have 10 hours in the game or something, but or even an option to have a random song every time. I wish they did that more. Super Smash Brothers does that. There's a good example. Happy New Year, Vlin. Ha ha ha. Happy New Year, Happy New Year's Eve, whatever it is for you. Glad you could make it. Let's play this song, though. So good. So good. But alright. Massively OP's 2022 awards. First we start with... oh dear, I already spoiled one. Most underrated MMO was Elder Scrolls Online, which surprised me, but then some people in the chat and here were saying that, okay, yeah, there's a reason why. But I was like, how can ESO be underrated? What? It's one of the big three, one of the big four, depending on how you see it. What is this madness? What is this madness? This part, listen. This part is so good. Seriously, it brings tears to my eyes. Are you kidding me? You know, when I started Lotro, this was the login theme, so I'm biased, I guess, but I don't know, it's still very special from the others I've heard. I started in 2015. It was until 2017 that we got a change. You just went into... Oh, this music, though. It's been a little while since I've heard Lotro Legacy. I just went into the game files to make the Guild Wars 2 login theme rickroll. To rickroll spouse because I played with music off, but then they never logged in again and I accidentally rickrolled myself and I started music on 6 months later. Congratulations! You played yourself! Ah, Blin! That's hilarious. That's hilarious. But yeah, miss, it makes you want to go on an adventure. Exactly. Oh my gosh. So the best rogue server, City of Heroes Homecoming. I'm gonna just blaze through these quickly until we get to the latest ones. I don't remember what they were. Most improved. When was it that we watched this? That we saw this? I think it was around... Worst MMO business, best PvP MMO. Yeah, it was. It's around here that we left off. At the worst MMO business model, best business model. I think it was around there. Playing myself is the story of my life. I know, Flynn. I know the feel. Although usually it's the universe that plays with me as a toy. I'm the cosmic plaything. We are the cosmic plaything as a star cluster. We are. Anyways, hope you're doing well. I'm hoping to stream again soon. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Thanks for stopping by, Flynn. If you're leaving, yeah, Happy New Year once again. Let's play music again. Back to the other music. But yeah, let's see. New World. Massively, most improved MMO New World. Mist was here. I remember he agreed to that. Other people were agreeing, I think. So that was it. I'll stick around a little bit. I'm just making dolls for Christmas still. Ah! That's alright. Still the holiday season in my book. The holiday season ends until January 6th with the 3 Wise Men Day. Before that, it's supposed to still be the 12 days of Christmas, from what I understand. I mean, let me show you, actually. 12 days of Christmas. Let me check Wikipedia for this. Very quickly. So... they're supposed to be from the 25th of December to 5 January. Usually it's done the other way. This has kind of been lost, I guess. I don't know. Because they make it end on December 25th, which makes sense too. But yeah, you have that. And then the 3 Wise Men. 6 January sometimes considered 12th day, with the 12 days of Christmas actually after Christmas Day from 26 December to 6 January. Alright. Your mileage may vary. Actually, December and January are the best holiday in my day. Yes, you must all celebrate for 2 months, except for New Year's is your cat's birthday. Ah. Thanks for the heads up, Lynn. So it's your shining superstar time. I gotcha. I see. Which day of those months is it? But yeah, make it the entire month. Make it the entire month. Combine it with my birthday month, which is this one. December 23. Ah, right. You told me before, I think. I'm sorry, I forget. You know I'm not good with those things anyway. But with dates and names. Ah, it sucks. It sucks. Most people are understanding though, but it still kind of sucks. But yeah, so it was a few weeks ago or so. Your birthday's in my birthday month. Wow. Congrats on getting overshadowed. Oh no. No. We're all superstars of the same star cluster. All equally in my grasp. Yeah. But we're all the same size there. Different colors, maybe. There's gotta be other purple stars, though. I'm not gonna hog the purple spotlight, alright? You can have purple as well if you like. Let's see, though. Biggest MMO blunder was Blizzard exits China, which was I wasn't even aware of that, but okay. Okay, not gonna comment more on that, I guess. Industry unionization, best MMO trend of 2022. I was partly aware of it. I know what they're talking about, but at the same time, there's a lot I didn't know about that. Best new MMO class of 2022, Guild Wars 2's Mechanist. Fuck yeah, unions. It's been, from what I understand, it's been beyond. This is beyond MMORPGs, video games, really. So it doesn't surprise me to see something like that. Man, this is heartbreaking, though. Biggest MMO disappointment of 2022 is SWTOR's Legacy of the Sith. Ouch, 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 ouch. But I see what they mean. As somebody who didn't even play it, who's still in the vanilla game, to this day. Oh, you know, it was in the same year I started streaming that I started SWTOR. Started it on the stream. Great stuff. And I guess I'm gonna reach the 5th anniversary. Big bad disappointment? Ah. Yeah, you would know more about it, Blinn. So, I see you agree. I see you agree. But man, I'm gonna reach the 5th anniversary and I still haven't even made it to, at least with one character, to the end of the vanilla content. I was playing with my Jedi Knight self off the stream here and there. Maybe I'll feel froggy and we'll do it on the stream. Because I'm close to the end there with Kaiden, the Jedi Knight Sentinel. FF14 releases more content every 3-4 months than that entire expansion. Without all the bugs that made Legacy of the Sith unplayable for a lot of people, that's a shame. They delayed it. There was something going on. Something got messed up in development, in production. I don't know. But again, it was meant to be 2021 because it's the 10th anniversary. Also, got delayed to be, what was it, February of this year? March? Around there? Maybe later, I don't know. But yeah, I love SWTOR still, but yeah, holy shit, it was bad. Best business model though, Guild Wars 2. Still have yet to play that game. Look at that. The only other MMO that comes close is Guild Wars 1, and that's not an accident. Wow. There is no MMORPG on the market right now with this much content, with a cheap buy-to-play model and total skippable cash shop, and no sub. I hope AQ3D one day can be said to be like this. That's the only other one that I can think of that's this way. Low price with extraordinary value, and that makes it perfect for families, which is exactly why my kids play with me. Wow. Hey, Allurin, we're taking a look at the awards. You're just in time. So have you played Guild Wars 2, Blinn? I'm way too busy with FF14 though. As I said, something I said this year, I do remember one New Year resolution I had that we need to talk about. But related to that, yeah, I gotta focus on only one MMORPG for now. I go back to the others though, but it's just like an occasional thing. I don't really advance much through them. I may just come back to not even advance through the quests, you know? Do something else. That sort of thing. Play for like 2 years at launch, nice. Yes, I think you said so before, Mist, that you didn't find it fun. So yeah. Ah, your phone screen died this morning, great way to start New Year's. Ah, I'm sorry to hear that. You may think it's a good luck sign though. Sometimes when those things happen, they're meant to be good luck, like, hey, we're gonna do all the bad things at the very start of it, and then for the rest of the lifetime of this thing, well, maybe not the phone, unless it's a new phone, but for the rest of 2023, you're not gonna get tech issues in your phone. Maybe. Guild Wars 2, Lotro, Guild Wars 2. But yeah, it's also worth mentioning Lord of the Rings Online here, given all of the zones and expansions it added to all free accounts going forward. But yeah, I think Guild Wars 2 just keeps winning a lot of the time. Guild Wars 2. Somebody just put New World here, interesting. No lockboxes, pay for power or inconvenience. They released an expansion roughly equal in scale to one of ESO's $50 annual chapters for free. Simply doesn't get any better than this, that's amazing. Okay. Then, I think this is the first new one. I don't recall if we saw worst MMO business model. Star Citizen and crypto scams last year. Look at the winner. Look at the winner. I think we can probably agree with this. Is this an MMO? Let's say it is, but I didn't play the game, but I've seen a lot of its infamy. Diablo Immortal. My god, this game, which was doomed from the start, long before it came out when it got announced. And even after it came out, it just got worse somehow. Is this an off-season April Fool's joke? What? It's funny, but well. Look at what Andrew Ross here is saying. Anything play to earn, NFTs are crap, but pay to earn threatens to turn the genre into one of those dystopian Black Mirror episodes. I can see that. I can see that. It was so bad it literally became a meme. I know. Star Citizen, poor Star Citizen. All the pay for none of the play. I can't believe a Blizzard MMOs is turning Star Citizen here. Oh my gosh. But yeah, almost unanimous. Diablo Immortal. Oh, there's a few that jacked up their subscription prices. That sucks. That sucks. Let's see the nominees here. Shall I vote for Final Fantasy XIV? Vote! No, just kidding. It's the worst, not the best we're voting for here. Missed! The only reason you are immortal is you can pay them for eternity! You made a deal with the devil. Diablo. And there you go. Oh, Blaine, I'm so glad you asked that question. How far are we in the story? Yesterday we were having a ball doing the coils to keep unlocking parts of the story. And oh my god, we need to watch that scene again. Maybe we'll watch it right now. What the hell? Today, I mean, during the stream. At least say your daughter. She's the best. We loved you, Luiswa. Yeah, we were yelling that yesterday. It was so nice to meet Luiswa like that. I'm so glad. And so there's a sort of catharsis for Alice and Alphinaud. Man, Alice's voice is so nice to listen to. Who's the voice actress? I need to look it up. But that's your grandpa. There you go. There you go. Wait a minute. How is Alice your daughter and Luiswa your grandpa? What is going on here? How is that possible? No, but seriously. Mostly, yeah, it was pretty much just the coils. We did a few other things, but it was literally like 90+% of the stream was the story with the coils. Getting killed there. Emmett, best character, fight me. Aha. One of your top characters in FF14. And, I mean, that's high praise coming from you, Elurian, because I know there's many new characters that get introduced in the later stuff, which you already know. And still, Alice is up there, so that's great. The best character is Orianger. Everyone else is a side character. You have spoken, Vlindril. There you go. There you go. Okay. The best PvP MMO 2022 is Albion Online. How do you all feel about this? I know next to nothing about Albion Online. I did hear they increased their subscription prices, which sucks. I'm starting to stumble through my words already. Your waifu Yugiri, she's best girl. I don't know who that is. Don't tell me anything else. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm gonna Google it quickly. Just to see... Okay. I haven't seen her. There's some characters here and there from your streams and other people's streams that I've seen that... Oh yeah, there's a red-haired girl that looks like she's gonna become a major character. And I don't know if it's just coincidence that everybody's on the same content or something, or she really is featured so much, but I keep seeing her. And she has like an ancestor, or I don't know what's going on. There's somebody who looks like her, who is not her, or it's her in another form. It's really weird. I don't know, but don't tell me anymore. I think you know who I'm talking about. She has red hair and she has a ponytail. That's all I remember. I don't remember her name, which is good because it's more spoiler free that way when I get to that content. Albion Online though, best PvP MMO. You actually met her, she was just disguised. Shut up. See, here's the thing. I don't know who you're talking about there, Illurin. If you're talking about Yugiri, or if you're talking about that other woman with the red hair and the ponytail. So don't tell me which one of those two you were referring to. Oh, damn it! Don't tell me. Okay. I made Yugiri. All right. Do we have a Yami Yugiri? Maybe. Does she have a Millennium Puzzle on her neck? with you know, like a necklace on her neck. Sorry, I had to make the obvious joke. Muto Yugiri. If we had a female Yugi, that's what the name is, Yugiri. Yeah, it still works. Yugi still means game. I don't know if Yugiri can mean something else, but yeah. But it was Albion Online, some people nominated Guild Wars 2, EVE Online, Black Desert. But it's mostly Albion Online. Not a lot of nominations from the staff here. Other people say the ones I don't play, okay. Planet Side 2, interesting. For structured PvP, wow. World of Warcraft, eh? You're actually about to do Roulette 714? Let's go. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do them today, actually. Not that I really need to, so it's fine. So, the biggest MMO surprise of 2022. The winner is Terra Sunset. Yeah, Terra shut down, right? From what I've heard. So that's a shame. That's a pity. Have I tried Black Desert before? Yes, I did. I played it once on stream. I remember I created a character that kind of looked like a purple hair Sephiroth. Somebody commented, "You look very evil." I did, yeah. I saw the like black mist that becomes like your partner. You're in like a bunch of ruins. I could see why Black Desert is the way it is, like why it's known as a leisure MMO and also mobile MMO, because you can literally just like get them to automatically walk you or make your character run to the quest objective. Haven't played a lot of MMOs that are like that, really, so it's still a new concept to me, but yeah, I just didn't go back to it literally after that one stream. I like a lot of it in theory, but the things that suck about it suck too hard, really. Actually, if I really didn't log in after that, let me see when the last time I played it was here on Steam. Black Desert. Wait, it's not on Steam. I got it wrong. I thought I got it on... Oh no, here it is. Last played 28 August 2020, so that must have been then. Wow, that's longer ago than I thought. That's insane. But okay. The only way to get good outfits is to pay? To get your Fashion Desert Online, you gotta pay. Yeah. So, okay, best classic MMO of 2022. Lord of the Rings Online got it last year. And Lord of the Rings Online also got it this year. Hold on. Okay, I thought they meant a classic server, like WoW Classic. But no, they mean a game that's been around since 2010 and earlier. And once again, the Lord of the Rings Online has won this award this year. Anarchy Online was nominated, Guild Wars 1 was nominated, Old School RuneScape was nominated. I could have seen that winning. Still spoiling for the maintenance modded Final Fantasy XI, and its monthly updates included new story updates after the team said this is definitely not something they would be doing any longer. Big fan. But I'm glad to see Lotra won here. Another Old School RuneScape nomination. Star Trek Online gets nominated. It not only continues to add content and do fan service by integrating known Star Trek characters in the stories, but the devs keep in touch with the community. STO deserves this one. Wow, that sounds beautiful. Just pretty much like Lotra in that sense too, but more room to do new stories because you're not bound to a preset story as much as Lord of the Rings, right? With the time placement of Star Trek from what I understand. Again, there's a lot I still don't know about Star Trek, but I already have a good idea of when Star Trek Online takes place, very far in the timeline. I don't know if it's before or after the Picard series, which is also gonna get exciting. They announced, like, I remember the announcement that pretty much the entire crew from the next generation is also coming back for the next season, and I don't know when that is. It was a nice year for Star Trek. They had a new series with, what was the name of that captain before Kirk? I already forgot, but the captain that got disfigured and like disabled immensely. Who has very, very cool looking white hair. Captain, I forget. Robert something? Or maybe that's the one before him. There's another one that's before him. Well, anyway, if you know, do let me know in the chat. But there you go, Lord of the Rings Online Classic MMO of the Year. Good to see Lotcher win an award. MMO Story of the Year. I love to see how some of you feel about this. Oh, wait. Oh, no. My bad. I thought they meant in-game story. No. Because last year it was the Activision Blizzard scandal. Oh, okay. I'm like, Final Fantasy XIV has something here. No, it's not that. Okay, the Crypto Clown Show. Okay, the unwelcome rise of crypto blockchain and pay turn and MMO genre. Right. I love the way they phrase it, the Crypto Clown Show. Yeah, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Lots of stuff related to blockchain and stuff like that. The Crypto Clown Show, though. It's funny to call it that way. But yeah. Oh, wow. MJ saying, if you go by plus size, then obviously the winner for biggest story is how Elvira's cleavage got AQ3D yoinked from all app stores. Completely removed so that no one could get the game for over a day. A thumbnail picture of that caused a ruckus. Yes, cartoon cleavage of the Mistress of the Dark temporarily crippled the game for new users. We knew it could cripple hearts, but this was unexpected. The power of boobs, my friends. Aside from that, the whole Crypto Clown Show debacle. Alright. Man, it's such a shame that I missed out on the 20th anniversary of Artix Entertainment. They had Elvira show up for that. Hopefully some of those things are still replayable. I also was kind of disappointed because from the looks of it, you can correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't do it as big as they did the 10th anniversary in terms of like covering all the games. They mostly did AQ Worlds and AQ3D, and the other games kind of got neglected from what I saw. And last time, to be fair, AQ Worlds was still kind of new. Well, it was already like 4 years old, but there was no AQ3D either. So they focused a lot more on the others. They had AQ Worlds events, AQ3D, AQ Classic, Dragon Fable, Mech Quest, even Oversoul I think was there. At least I'm asking for them to do something in Dragon Fable and an Adventure Quest. Maybe Mech Quest. I feel like something like this should warrant new content in Mech Quest, even if it doesn't regularly get one. But I digress. MMO Studio of the Year. I'm very interested to see who gets this. Guild Wars 2 Studio ArenaNet last year. This year, ArenaNet once again. There you go. Orna's Northern Forge being nominated. ArenaNet, a lot of ArenaNet. Man, this is really making me want to play Guild Wars 2. But there's so much left to do in FF14, I can't do that. I see Standing Stone Games got nominated. A tie between Artix Entertainment and ArenaNet. Very nice. The A's win! Artix Entertainment continues to regularly add content at a cadence no one else can match. And this year has been adding content that revisits some nostalgia for players as well as unique characters for different kinds of gameplays and stories. I think I might go back to AQ3D at some point in 2023. It's about time I did that. Did we have an AQ3D stream this year? Can somebody tell me if I streamed AQ3D this year? I think I didn't? I don't recall. This is... or maybe I did, but... I'm trying to recall based on the thumbnails I do for the streams. Like, even if they're on Twitch, I do a thumbnail because they make great, like, announcement graphics for Twitter and Discord. But... I'm not sure. It must have been before I did the thumbnails because I can't recall an AQ3D thumbnail that I did. Usually I remember those things to an extent. But alright. Ooh, MMO with the stormiest future. It was awarded to Blizzard and World of Warcraft last year. Years ago we called this award most likely to fail and most likely to flop. But yeah, now it's they changed the name. And right now it's Sota and Garriot's Crypto MMO. Okay, Shroud of the Avatar and Garriot's Crypto MMO. I didn't know what the hell this is. I don't know what the hell this is, but okay, Shroud of the Avatar and Garriot's. I'm like, what is Sota? I don't know what this is. crypto MMO, Shroud of the Avatar and Garrett's new game. Okay. Well, alright, I know nothing about that. Oh no, SWTOR got nominated twice. That makes me very sad. I am also not very convinced that SWTOR will survive 2023. Man, I don't entirely disagree with what they're saying from what I've seen. Breaks my heart. But yeah, not so massively game of the year. So what this is other multiplayer online games that may not necessarily be MMORPGs. MOBAs, online dungeon crawlers, ARPGs, online shooter survival sandboxes, battle royale titles. Valheim got the award last year. So there you are. And this time is V-Rising and Multiversus. 2 winners. I don't know what V-Rising is, but Multiversus? Oh, yes. I still need to play that. It looks so nice. That's the one that has, like... You can have Arya Stark face Bugs Bunny. Batman face Shaggy. That's the one, right? No, yeah, I'm thinking of Nickelodeon All-Stars as well. This is the one. Warner Brothers is involved. So that's why some properties are there. Yeah. I gotta play Multiversus eventually. Wasn't Multiversus free to play? I'll take a look at it. But yeah, best MMO housing of 2022. ESO got it last year. What about 2022? SWG Legends. Wow. Star Wars Galaxy's Legends. That was unexpected. Okay. That's fascinating. Kinda just speed reading some of the things they're saying here. Somebody nominated FF14. New World got nominated. Interesting. Yeah, mostly just FF14, SWG Legends, and New World got nominated. That's it. From the staff, at least. The staff of Massively OP. Indie MMO of the year. So what constitutes an indie MMO, I wonder? Zenith is the winner this year. Ship of Heroes got it last year. But yes, Zenith for 2022. Orna, I've been seeing them mentioning here a lot among many nominees. Haven't heard of that one either, but apparently it's a strong game if it's been nominated for many awards that much. Embers Adrift. Zenith, Project Gorgon. That one has been around for a while. But yeah, Zenith. I don't know what Zenith is. What is Zenith? Oh, so it seems to be VR? Ooh, okay. I wish I still had a VR headset. Mine just pretty much doesn't work anymore. Might be good to play it. I remember there was one called Ormus. And it's still around from what I saw. But yeah, I don't see it nominated here. Well, let's see. MMO expansion of the year. Aha. Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker was the winner last year, which is not a surprise, I imagine. But what about this year? Guild War 2's End of Dragons. I do see Dragonfly got nominated. So I was about to say WoW was not the only one to release an expansion based on dragons. Aha. Look at the things they're saying about it. The sounds and storytelling in this expansion are really at the absolute top of the genre right now. Ooh. With something like FF14 in there, that's high praise. I did see 6.2 get nominated here, okay. Lotra Before the Shadow, great to see that nominated. Man, another reason to get back to Lotra. What am I gonna do when I get back? I'm gonna have to play that. Okay, most anticipated MMO. And we're about to get to the end of the awards. Most anticipated MMORPG for 2023 and beyond is Soulframe. I don't know anything about that. Palia looks like Landmark had a baby with Animal Crossing. What is Palia? Now I'm interested to see what that is. Huh. The Riot MMO, Soulframe, Nightingale Wayfinder. I don't know any of these. Oh, so Soulframe is related to Warframe? Well, it's the same devs. And I mean, from the name... So it's like a fantasy Warframe? My gosh, I'm gonna have to check that out. The idea of the Warframe devs building a new game from the ground up as an MMO from the start, rather than hacking it in after launch as they did with Warframe, is an interesting one. Still has that weird and unique Warframe feel to it. Interesting to see how to translate from sci-fi to fantasy. Huh. Might be good to check the trailer for that. Harry Potter Magic Awakened? What? Is that the... No, that's Hogwarts Legacy. What is Magic Awakened? I haven't heard of that. Core Punk. Okay. But then, MMORPG of the year. Are we ready for this? This is the big one. There's another one after this. And I already know who the winner is. But is it gonna be the same winner? Last year, 2021, Final Fantasy XIV and New World both got it. So, what is the MMO of the year according to Massively OP of 2022? The Massively OP staff pick for the best MMORPG of 2022 is Lost Ark. Okay, I know next to nothing about Lost Ark, but there you are. That's the winner this year. I was wondering if it was gonna be FF14. I see Guild Wars 2 nominated. Doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of Lost Ark. Okay. Came out this year, I think. Guild Wars 2, the expansion winner. There's something very thoughtful here from Elliot. Lost Ark. There's a lot of Lost Ark. I think they tried to keep it mostly for MMOs that launch on the year. And if they can't find any nominees that are worth it, then they go for another one. I don't know. Alright, then the Lifetime Achievement Award. We didn't see FF14 there, but we are seeing it here. The critically acclaimed MMORPG, between parentheses, Final Fantasy XIV. Hold on, look at the way they write it. Last year's recipient was EVE Online. This year's Lifetime Achievement Award goes to none other than the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV, which has a free trial and includes the interactive Realm Reborn and award-winning Heaven's Sword expansion up to level 6, on search on playtime, so on and so forth, and free content. Ah! There you are, there you are. So, this is to honor an MMORPG that has made a significant contribution to the genre over the course of its lifetime and the genre's history, but may not be recognized within the confines of our regular awards. Right. Wow. It's one MMO of the year from Massively OP, 5 out of the last 10 years, which is nuts. Even in a year with no expansion, it manages to give the genre's behemoth a run for its money and keep Square Enix afloat. We love it around here and so do our readers. It's a worthy recipient. Blah, blah, blah. Can't say some words sometimes. But there you are right there, maniacs. Those are the MMO Massively OP MMO Awards of 2022. How do you feel about them? Do you feel differently about it? Any of them? Do you agree with any of them? We did see some agreement over some of them, but again, I don't know anything about Lost Ark. But hey, they know what they're talking about, I think, so I'll take their word for it. We checked out so many new games this year, but most of them were not MMORPGs. Really, the only new MMO this year was Final Fantasy XIV. But just off the top of my head, the new games we checked out this year, and I want to continue this trend in 2023, we would have checked out more had it not been for the scuffed weeks of October and November, where I just couldn't stream at all, and it sucked. I had plans for others, but we're gonna sort of carry them over into 2023. But it's not gonna be the priority as much as it was last year, though. Like, just for a little bit of time, I'll cover the other ones that I haven't covered. But there's gonna be several periods of time in which we don't check out any new games. We have plenty to choose from already, especially from those new we saw. But yes, off the top of my head, we have Smite, the only MOBA this year, and the only MOBA I've ever played so far. But that may change if we do get into League of Legends this coming year. We checked out Smite, Rumbleverse, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodhunt. What was the other? Oh yeah, Realm Royale, Reforged, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, because it launched this year. Yeah, they gotta be doing something for the anniversary very soon. Oh yeah, the season is gonna reset very soon. As it does every month. The season is a month for them. So, I made it to Platinum 4. So not too shabby. Not too shabby. Platinum rank 4. Still haven't made it beyond Platinum so far. One day I will. I probably need to get a super meta deck for that. And that's not gonna happen for a while, I think. But yeah, what else? Well, Fortnite, it wasn't the first time I played it when I started playing it this year again, but it was the first time on the stream, and a long comeback. It's kind of a brand new game already, for all I know. Especially since it's mostly zero build for me. Rarely do I ever play build mode. And when I last left Fortnite, there was no zero build. Like, it was shortly before I started streaming, actually. Like in early 2018, late 2017, early 2018, was when I first checked out Fortnite. And yes, it was addicting, but I sucked at building. I'm getting a little bit better now that I got into Fortnite more this year. But I still prefer zero build. It's still too stressful. And I know I have nothing on the top of the meta players. Like, they just built a whole other map on top of the map. It's insane. And I don't mean that in a good way. I honestly don't like that kind of game. Like, they give you this map and you're just going to build on top of it. Like, you get resources from it, sure, but it's kind of like just ignoring the map that's there. This is why it sounds weird to phrase it like this, but it feels like the real game is in zero build. Like, the default game of Fortnite is zero build, even though that's completely untrue. Again, because zero build is a new thing too. After so many years, they finally did it. Mark my words, if Apex Legends ever does something like that, not zero build, I mean, they do a single player mode, it's going to be very similar. They're gonna take a while to get it. They may end up doing it when they feel like there's a season pass. When they feel like money has dropped, income has dropped, player base has dropped, they'll push the emergency button and that'll attract new players. I wonder if Fortnite did it for that reason. I don't think so though. But it was already like a phenomenon worldwide, pop culture, like, but it's become even more so, I feel, after that. I don't know though. You already had The Rock being part of it, many celebrities playing it here and there. So I don't know. Then what else did we check out this year that was new? Can't think of any other games. Unless we count Triple Triad and FF14. Oh, wait a minute, what am I saying? We did check out another MMO, which was FF11, the 2 Final Fantasy MMORPGs. Yes, of course, yes, of course. And I had to end up dropping it. Yeah, I guess that I do break the rule there of, eventually if I do get back to it, I would break the rule of just focusing on one MMO so we can get as far with it as possible. No, because my ideal Final Fantasy Friday is alternating between 11 and 14 per Friday, or having them both on the same Friday. If I have a week in which Friday doesn't have Final Fantasy 14, then we'll probably just have it on another day of the week, honestly. You think I'm not gonna play that game? Come on. At this point? No. No, and I did spend a little chunk of the year not playing it, because I didn't do anything off the stream when I wasn't streaming it. Those weeks that were scuffed in October and November. Oh man, we're gonna start looking back at the year like that. Month by month, I want to look back at the content creation I've been doing. I did some incredible things this year that I would not have expected to do. That I'm so glad I got the idea and I'm glad I pulled it off. Much hard work, especially on one of those. A particular one that took 38 days, but it was so worth it. Probably won't do it again though. But I would like to do a 39 Kamen Rider challenge if possible. I don't know. Maybe I just won't do it this year and then I can have a 40 Kamen Rider challenge on next year. That will sound better. In the middle of that challenge, Shin Kamen Rider is gonna come out, and I feel like that's gonna overshadow anything else that's going on with Kamen Rider. Well, kind of, because they'll still have the ongoing Geats series. So I don't know. It's difficult to say. It's difficult to say how it's gonna be. But before we talk about 2023 though, let's keep looking back at 2022. Again, lots of new things this year that I'm so glad I did. And it was my first full calendar year as a VTuber. Because I started July 2021 as a VTuber, right? So this is the first full calendar year like that. And man, has a lot happened in it. I have improved many skills though. I have improved many skills. This, you know, that 30 Camera challenge was really good for practicing my skills in audio mixing, to an extent video editing, to an extent. But especially it was for audio mixing and singing that I got to hone those skills. And I heard them again recently, the covers I did for that. And some of them were like... for some of them the singing was just subpar in my opinion. But for some of them, the singing was fine, but then the mixing just sucked. But again, it was still a learning process. I do a lot better now, even though I still consider myself an absolute amateur at that. Like, I just use Audacity for it, and mostly I follow the steps of a tutorial that I saw a while ago. So I have been able to kind of understand a few things about reverb, equalization. Well, not really equalization. I don't really use the equalizer. Or no, what is it that I don't use? The equalizer? I don't remember what it was, but yeah, there's something I don't use that I used to use. Pardon the redundancy there, but yeah. Dun, 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 dun. This is called, what was his name? Avarice. Yeah, I was gonna say the name of this song is Greed something, but no, Avarice. Oh, this song, I remember having it in some old videos also. When I still did some informational videos before covers on the channel, on the YouTube channel. One other big thing that we did this year though was expanding finally into YouTube live streams. Having the first ever YouTube live stream earlier this year, and then especially after YouTube implemented the separation of the tabs for videos, shorts, and live streams, finally doing them more frequently. Which was a plan I had actually much earlier in the year than when I started doing it. Which was pretty much, yeah, only like last month when I came back or so. So yeah, that'll probably be another New Year resolution, doing more YouTube streams. Already at this point though, I guess it's because I already have streaming experience. There's streaming experience from doing it on Twitch does translate more than you might believe on YouTube. The things you have to figure out that are different from Twitch, it only takes you a few streams to figure out. That surprised me, because I thought I would have to do dozens and dozens of streams to get used to how it is to stream on YouTube, like the things I need to do, because it's always a different stream key for every stream, unlike Twitch. And also because I like to have the chat on my OBS docked, I also have to get a new URL for the chat every time and put it on the window there. Just like pin it on OBS like that. So there's a lot of manual input, if you will, per stream. And of course there's the thumbnails, but I had also been practicing that before that by doing those daily announcement graphics that I talk about. Actually, let me see something very quickly. I think I had like a little gallery here. Not sure if I have it here. Maybe it's on, oh, not this gallery. That's from the leak building stream. There's my waifu Chantal. Did you see her? Right, yeah, looking back at some of the thumbnails we did this year. Like, look at them, look at them. This is a thumbnail for Twitch. Now, this is the thumbnail, not the daily announcement. So it doesn't have like the start time. And it has the date on the upper right because of the way things are archived on Twitch. I think it's best to put the date like that. I wouldn't do it for a YouTube thumbnail though, that would be overkill. This is a fun thumbnail, I like doing this. I also did a similar one for Final Fantasy XI, in which I'm holding a staff that's supposed to be a Black Mage staff. And in this case I'm holding a crystal. That could be an ice spell, or it could be one of the crystals of Hyvelin. Depends on how you see it. Maybe it's both of them. This other one with FF14. Some of them have text, some of them don't. This was much earlier in the thumbnail process, so one thing you may notice with these thumbnails here, some of them, is that they have a blurred background. I've sort of been able to do that as a sort of default, and it works so well. With this one though, I had a Shire background that was not quite blurred. It works too, but when you blur the background, it's a lot better in general. Sometimes you may kind of blend in with the background too much and you don't stand out, or the background overshadows you actually. Oh, this one was fun, doing the dual lightsabers for Sutor. And again, this was early in the process, so I didn't have the Sutor logo. Usually what I do is what you see right here. I have the X in the middle to say it's like a collab between Gaiden Tajigen and the Lord of the Rings Online. I like doing it like that. But I didn't have it in this one. That background is from Star Wars Jedi Outcast, but it works well. Since I'm playing as the Jedi Sentinel for this stream, I assume that's what that was. I have the dual lightsabers, and of course they're gonna be purple. Free falling for fun, so again, this was early in the process before I blurred the backgrounds, but it worked too. It works too. The background doesn't overshadow me that much. I have the reaction like, ah, all the guys are falling, ah! The usual mayhem of Fall Guys. Ah, this one was fun because I changed the font to be the Lord of the Rings font. For the date on the upper left, and also for the text, Yondershire Warden Finale. We did massive things in Lotro as well. And yeah, this was shortly before I went into FF14. That was very fitting. I don't even remember that it was so fitting like that, because I started FF14 on July 1st. Like the very beginning of the second half of the year, I started that game. So it's been 6 months of Final Fantasy XIV for me. At the end of June next year, yeah, it's gonna be the anniversary. Let's see how far we are in FF14 by then. Hopefully I'm a subscriber by then. No, seriously, I should at least have finished Heaven's Sword by then. Hopefully that's the case. But yeah, I did it like this for this, and I had fun putting the logo in the shield there. This was a good thumbnail. I like what I did here. But, oh yeah, this is an alternate version in which I had the date be with one of my fonts. Ah, yeah, this vibing thumbnail for Fortnite was so good. So good. Put some extra work to do that, hold on. That vibing text to look like that. Took many different tries, many different styles until I was comfortable with that one. I played so much for the vibing season though. The season after that though, I dropped off. Nothing to do with the season itself, it's just other things that got in the way. But here we go. First Final Fantasy XIV Friday. And then we're gonna say this again next week. First Final Fantasy XIV Friday of 2023. But as it says right there, 2022 July 1st. And yes, just as you see right there, I indeed fell in love with the game. Pretty much 6 months ago. And already the day after, more Final Fantasy XIV, 2022 July 2. These are in chronological order actually. This was a thumbnail that I thought about, but I think I didn't go for that because the text was just too much. Just Fall Guys, just going nuts, because that's what Fall Guys does to me. This is the emotional state it leaves me in. But we still did the new Brawler character after that, before we put Lotro a little bit more on the back shelf. So we had a new Brawler character, because we did one of every class. That was still something we did. And we finished the Yondershire with a character, which was also new. I'm not sure if we started Machai this year, the Warden. That's why I had the spear and the shield. I remember now. That's a big thing we did this year, so yeah. More FF14 questing. Finally, yes, I think this is when I started getting those blurry backgrounds that work so well. They work really well. Yeah, this was like one of the final thumbnails that was not like that. This was before I knew more about Final Fantasy XIV. I had a slightly different logo for it. In the background, I just chose like a general background. Since again, I didn't know enough about the game to go for something more specific than that. I wasn't doing anything in game yet. What is this background? What does this background show? Can anybody tell me? Because even now, I don't quite recognize what these things are. Maybe that's the crystal tower on the left, but it doesn't quite look like it. I think it's something else. Reminds me of a Pokemon called Celesteela. One of the Ultra Beasts from the Alola games. And you can find them beyond the Alola games, but they got introduced there. Okay, so let's see. More FF14 questing. You know, this thumbnail format, again, it goes very well into the YouTube game for both live streams and videos. So, doing thumbnails for a stream, I prefer to do them weekly. So, for example, tomorrow or Monday, I would do the thumbnails for next week's streams after I do the schedule graphic, which involves similar work. But yeah, for for these ones, I sort of have figured out a format, which is me somewhere in the foreground there, a background of sorts that fits, and the text there, with a purple background like that, or with a purple outline. It varies sometimes, but this is what I tend to do. This is what I tend to do for the thumbnails, and it works well, I think. Final Fantasy Friday, when it still had the black with a white outline text, because it was based on one of the logos from Final Fantasy 11 that was like that, black with a white outline. There's a particular thumbnail that I'm super proud of, actually. Not sure if it's visible here. Let me see. I don't think I have it here on this slideshow. But there is one in which, let me see if I can show it to you. Hold on. Let me get a browser window here and see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Give me a second. I'm gonna see if I can show you the thumbnail I'm talking about. Let me see. So searching the wallpapers here. I can't find the one I'm looking for. Let's see, background. No. It's one that looks similar to this, but it's not this one. I can't find it. Like you should be able to find it from a Google search, but I don't remember what it is that I search. Oh, here it is. So in this banner, I used it partly for a thumbnail. Notice in the forefront how it has that, right? That's what it was based on, because it was black text and a white outline. Final Fantasy 11 Online. Now, let me do something called Twitter Advanced Search and see if I can find my tweet from FF11. Let me see here. Oh no, wait, not Kamen Rider Daily. I'm used to searching a lot of those for like future reference. Okay, this was when I was still doing that. Ah, here it is. I want you to notice something I did. So compare the two pictures, okay? Notice the logo, right? If you notice, I am actually behind the logo right there. I am very proud of what I did with that, because and I still had a slightly different format. You can see the time was different. The live today was different. I love what I did with twitch.tv/Kaiden. I still hadn't been Kaiden Tajigen on Twitch, but I'm glad I changed to be Kaiden Tajigen on Twitch, so it's the same everywhere. But yes, here, usually for these sorts of things, what I would do is I would just manually erase the parts that are going over the logo. It's not as difficult as it sounds, actually. There's an easy way to do that, and this is all with Photoshop, by the way. That's where I do it. But what I actually did was use the Final Fantasy font that I got. You can find it online, and I put it on top of. So I got the textless version of this, actually. I think I did, and I put this on top of it. I don't remember how I did it exactly, but I made it match exactly how it was on the original picture, or nearly exactly. Near exactly. Like, compare it, right? And then I was able to be underneath that, because now it's an actual layer that I can go underneath. Underneath that is also twitch.tv/Kaiden. It looks so good. It looks so good. It's too bad I didn't do a version without the other text on the screen. It probably looked better, but it still works out. This still works out in its own way, I would say. And I am so proud of that. So proud of that one, but the other way we have done the thumbnails, though, works out so much better, though. This other new format like this, right? So good, so good. I'm so happy with how it turns out for a lot of these. So let's continue. Here I'm once again grabbing the staff. I have one of my darkest outfits. We haven't seen the outfit variations that much as of late, but we're gonna see them again, don't worry. Mostly been focusing on this one and the white one, but we'll see the others again. Have no fear, they will be here. This one, Ulta in the background, Thanaline in the background, it was still mostly that. There's my platinum hair variant. First dungeon and more. Ah, so the first dungeon was July 14. What was my first dungeon again? I don't remember. I think it was like that one that was like in like a jungle. open air, something like that. This is from Lotro. That's Torrance Hall in the background. Looks so nice. Another brawler stream, that's why I was doing that pose. Now with the silver hair. Final Fantasy Friday, finally starting to use it like that. Here's what I have Final Fantasy Friday, but without saying it's FF14. Then I was able to find a room to have both the Final Fantasy Friday text and the FF14 logo and my logo. And other things in there. Return. This is also why I'm so glad I put the date on them, because we can also see when specifically in this year I had these streams. So yeah, based on the results of one of the subathons, this was from the VTuber anniversary subathon. You got me to return to Mondstadt on Genshin Impact. So yeah, that was an interesting one. Oh, and that was the debut of my rainbow color scheme, I think, which we rarely ever see. First look at Rocket League, right there. Further adventures with Eladan and Elro here, so we also did that content that came out this year. We haven't done Before the Shadow, that also came out this year, we didn't do it then. More FF14. Some thumbnails just really don't need text, you know? Another Final Fantasy Friday we had here. Brawler Prologue Finale, right here. And I want to point this out. I want to show you, I want you to take a look at the pose I'm making right here, because it worked out. So it's a brawler, right? The brawler character punches a lot. So this pose fits. But at the same time, it's great when you can reuse a pose and it works really well like that too. Because I got this for... Why is my YouTube on daylight mode? Hold on. Let's go for darkness. Oh yes. The thumbnail for the F-Zero cover, where I'm partly wearing the Captain Falcon helmet. It works so well because, again, Falcon Punch, right? It works really well because of that, and I'm so happy. Oh yeah, and again, you can also see how some thumbnails work for me. Some of these are even beyond this year, so you can also see the evolution of my thumbnail style. It's with the Saber cover here that we get something a bit more established. Mostly like that, right? Getting the purple background and the white text. Not all the time though, especially in the live streams. For the Pokemon Leagues, I've been doing it slightly different. From what I tried to do with the purple rectangles in the back of the text, it didn't quite work for that one. So that's how we did it. We did it. Blah, 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 sorry. Slightly different versions of the Japanese one. We did the traditional one that we've been seeing in a lot of these for Sunken Secret's first look 2 days ago for Fall Guys. I love the synergy between the Pokemon League thumbnails here. And the first ever YouTube live stream was a little bit different than usual, but this worked out too. I like how it worked out. And while shorts don't have a thumbnail, so we don't need to look at those. So yeah, glad we also got to see YouTube thumbnails right there. Return to Master Duel. So this was a return after several months away, because I had another return after that, but it wasn't like as long. So yeah, it's been nice to play Master Duel here and there after returning. Oh yeah, this one was fun. This one was fun. I had fun doing this with the logos. So because I'm a black mage, I have a hat first of all, and I have fire and ice. Kind of looks like it's a crystal, but it's meant to be ice on my left hand. It's on the right of the screen, but it's my left hand, which has the FF14 logo, which is also blue, so it works really well. And then on my other hand is fire and my logo, which doesn't have the blending in as the other logo does because of the colors, but it still works in my opinion. I wasn't gonna change the logo to be red. I think I tried to change the fire to be purple, but I preferred how this one looked, so I kept it like this. One of the best skills that I practiced is just working on thumbnails and doing thumbnail style graphics, especially now that I've started doing more YouTube live streams. It's a skill that I'm so glad I honed this year. I was going to say perfected, but there's always room for growth, especially with these sorts of things. I'm so proud of what I did, improving my thumbnail game in general. Let's make them slightly bigger. There's more room here on the screen. Here, and this one just using the character creation background. This is really nice. I've used others here and there. Oh yes, this was great with Dragon Ball. So just having Shenlong in the background and using a more simple Fortnite thumbnail, and just like that, make a wish on the Dragon Balls. Haha. This one was fun to do. Grabbing the championship for Rumbleverse. This was just like a random belt I found online, by the way, because Rumbleverse is kind of pro wrestling themed, so that made sense. I had several different iterations of this one, but this is the one I ended up going for. Exploring there in Final Fantasy XIV. I think this is the Black Shroud now. The Waking Sands in the background, with also a nice purple filter there. I have other variations like that. This one was great though, the cards in the background like that with Master Duel. These thumbnails are so fun to do. You know, there's some other thumbnails here and there. Let's see, let's backtrack a little bit. Yeah, where I do a pose like this, right? This is what I have like this, yeah, also. This is what I'm able to do because I'm a V-Roy 3D avatar. But when I finally transition into live 2D, as I want to do someday, it's just the budget. Just gotta get the budget for that. But yeah, when I finally do that, we're not gonna see as much of that. But then a thumbnail like this would be very, very possible. So it's also good that I understand what is gonna be possible and what is not gonna be possible depending on the style of streamer I am. But also hone the skills based on that. Like also be able to do a thumbnail like this, and I think this one came out so nicely. Yeah, because again, that one in which I'm holding the dual disc, as nice as it looks, I might not be able to do something like that for my live 2D self. This first look of Realm Royale was very fun. It looked really nice. It looked really nice. Nice like reaction thumbnail of sorts, right? And this one just going nuts with Fall Guys using the rainbow color scheme. Because this is the reaction that Fall Guys gets out of me. That's not an exaggeration. The first look at Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. Man, I was trying to look very freaky. I ended up looking goofy like this. There's something a bit freaky about it too, but yeah, there you are. Saluting here, as I'm now part of the Maelstrom at this point, I believe. More adventuring in Final Fantasy Friday, Final Fantasy XIV. Flexing for the muscle look of Rumbleverse, as it is right there. Another Blood Hunt thumbnail. This was nice. Oh yeah, this pose that I've used again here and there for Realm Royale. The mushroom background. If I recall correctly, this was a collab with Allurin. Because I remember, I wish I could have had Allurin on this thumbnail, but it was too late. And yeah, I got his PNG later than I thought. Like only recently, when we did that Final Fantasy Friday collab. No, sorry, it was the Starlight Celebration collab. And I'm very proud of the way that thumbnail turned out too. I don't have it in this gallery, I think, but again, we can switch to the browser. We don't have to scroll too far on Twitter, I think, on my profile to take a look at that. Or actually, let's just see it from... Oh, no, wait, no. Let's keep scrolling down. This one turned out really nicely, too. I'm very proud of this one, too. The climax of the Bahamut coils in the background, too. We did see that. Initially, we didn't see that because they killed Bahamut so fast. But yeah. Let's see where we are. Yeah, the way this one turned out, I'm very happy with that one. There's been other collab thumbnails that I did that I should show here, actually. Starlight Celebration Holiday collab. And yeah, I'm just happy with the way this one turned out. Like, you can tell you have the tree in the background, the holiday tree in the background. The logo is there. There's a text that tells you when it's live, and it tells you what it's about above that on the Final Fantasy font. And the two of us are very visible on it. You can see our names clearly from Twitch. I think it turned out really nicely. And this is not the thumbnail that you see on the archive VOD, because the one on the VOD doesn't have like the start time. That's it. Other thumbnails from collabs. Let me see. Take a look at this one. The thumbnail game was a little bit earlier, but what I'm proud about is getting a hold of a Fortnite font, so I could also do this. So the original picture just has, obviously it doesn't have us, it has Collision in the background, and it has Fortnite here on top. It doesn't say special collab. It doesn't say Saturday, June 4. Certainly doesn't say start time 15:18. That's something I put myself, and it looks so good because it blends in so nicely. Again, like that Final Fantasy XI thumbnail we saw earlier. Here we Grave Paladin, Blue for Commando, myself, Harmony, Harmo Air Getlam. Yeah. It was a fun collab. Too bad I couldn't do this for the season finale after that. Well, actually, yeah, we did do a vibing collab, but no, I think I meant the one after that. That was an event too. Too bad I missed out on that. But this was so much fun. I'm so glad we did that. And let's see if I can find the Kamen Rider stream. There's a lot of anniversary stuff. Oh yeah, this one. There's a lot of... Oh, here we are. So, even earlier, before I got so good with thumbnails, even before I changed my outfit, that's another thing that happened this year, when I got into this outfit and all its variations. But there we go, the collab with Grave, Maru, Sonic, or rather Miles, and Sonomikan. Yeah, the text, even the text like looks so different. Before I started figuring out how to do like an outline better in Photoshop, because apparently the outline was always internal and it looked terrible. I always hated how bad it looked until I finally figured out, oh, you can change it. I don't know why it was like that. I think I accidentally changed it once and it just stayed that way after that. But yeah. This was April 3rd. Very, very shortly before I changed my outfit. And I have all the logos here. Similar to the star cluster image I show a lot, right? Whew, yeah. Sorry, wrong screen. Let's go for this one. Oh man, so many great things to reminisce on. This Fortnite one was so much fun. Again, as a live 2D tuber, I wouldn't be able to do this, but I'm glad I got this one. This one was fun. This one that didn't actually end up being Apex. So this thumbnail is actually not in the archive VOD on Twitch because it's mostly Fall Guys, because I couldn't play Apex on the stream. I had to switch to Fall Guys. This one is really nice too. There's the season finale. I'm reacting to my hair turning chrome, supposedly. I like the way I turned the background chrome. Took a few attempts to do it right, but I think this one worked out nicely. This is my platinum hair color scheme though, so I have it even if it's not Fortnite. Smite. The first look at Smite. It turned out really nicely too. Another Rem Royale Reforged stream. Return to Paladins after a long absence. Oh yeah, here's this one I showed earlier. And I think that's the playlist looping. Right. That's a loop of the thumbnails. There are many more that I'm not showing here, but it was meant to be just a little bit. I ended up taking a lot longer than that, didn't I? That's okay though. That's okay. Well, give me a second here. I'm gonna take a quick bio break. We're gonna have ads starting soon anyway, so as always everyone, stay connected to the multi-dimensional portal. I'll be back. Oh hey, we're back to the starting song. Well, again, wrong screen. Hold on. There we go. Too bad I couldn't return in time to do the intro again. It would have been nice, but that's alright. Whatever. So, man, it's been a prolific month. Very proud of what I did for the 38 Kamen Rider Challenge, doing every single one of those covers for Rider. You can see the archive of that on TikTok and on YouTube, on the shorts. The YouTube shorts are shorter than some of the TikToks, just FYI. Most of the TikToks are actually the longer version, where it starts from the very beginning, but still, very, very proud of what I did there. And I released more covers this year than I did last year because of that. If we don't count them, I think I still released more this year than I did last year, or did I? I'm not sure, but... Oh yeah, cover making is more difficult for me than I would like it to be. Still, because mixing gets difficult for me sometimes. I had to do so many takes to sing a song. This last one, Justifies, that we did, took so many takes from me. And also when you do a lot of takes and you take like, oh, you know, for the first part of the song I'm gonna do it from take 1. For the second part I'm gonna do it from take 3. And this chorus is gonna be from take 4. Oh, it's also a mess to sort out and put together. But when you do work it out, it's great. It's great. And even then, I feel like I could have done a lot of things better with the final product. But I digress. I've been seeing a lot of praise for that cover, for Justifies, and thank you so much for that. I do wonder how much of it really is about, oh yeah, I should improve this. And how much of that is just me being perfectionist with my own voice. If I ever get like extremely good with audio mixing, like at a very professional level, even then I might still commission somebody to do it for me, because maybe I'll do it for others, but never for myself, because I'm gonna be too perfectionist. I'm not gonna be able to be content with it. I'd rather just record it and then listen to the finished product from what somebody else mixed, and then I'm like, ah, yes, this is good. Because if I do the whole process, if I see what the whole process is like from the start, I'm gonna get very perfectionist with it. Because the changes are very gradual. You don't hear from when you record, the raw vocals and all that, to the finished product. It's a different story. The other struggle is to find instrumentals that are copyright free enough. I've already had enough that are like, still getting a copyright claim, not a strike, but a claim on YouTube, and I'd rather avoid those. That's another reason why I may not do the Kamen Rider Challenge again. Eventually, I would love to do it with just me commissioning new instrumentals for each of those songs that I sing to. And I'll do it. It's a lot of money though, even if all of those would be short, like just a little bit over a minute long. It's still a ton. So, I would rather... Well, that would have to wait. That would have to wait until I'm able to do something like that. My original plan after I completed the 38 Kamen Rider Challenge was to upload it all together in one video, one long video on YouTube as regular videos. The shorts are there too, but it's also part of one long video where you hear the full versions of all 38 songs. It would be 39 now with Trust Last from Kamen Rider Geats, but well, that changed, didn't it? It's even more of a copyright issue if I do it like that. I know, because I tried. And I saw there was too many copyright issues. I couldn't do it. So I just had to not do it. But eventually I would do it like that too. Even if I don't do like a daily challenge and I record the songs in another way, they would all be put together in a video like this. Yeah, like I could even do it at some other point in the year. So the purpose of that 38 Kamen Rider Challenge was that we would have... they would start at some point in February, so that the final day is April 3rd, the anniversary of Kamen Rider. And you start, you do it in reverse chronological order. You start from the latest rider, so you end it with the first rider on the anniversary. It's very fitting like that. Hold on, the multi-dimensional portal is open. Now I get to do it. Let's do it again. Let's do the time warp again. Konnichigen, I am the multi-dimensional Dajigen Kaiden, a sentient star cluster in virtual idol form. You're about to finish the year. Those are the things I want to reminisce on. I want you all maniacs, while you're listening to me saying this, also reminisce on your own experiences this year. Well, what are you most proud of this year when it comes to your achievements? My achievements, I'm very proud of that 38 community challenge. Being able to do it for 38 days straight. I released the cover for 38 days straight. A lot of these were mostly recorded ahead, but it still involved work nearly every day. I tried to do them in bulk here and there, but I didn't always have the time, so sometimes I had to rush it. I stayed up late quite a few times for that. Is the recording of the vocals, the audio mixing, the creation of the video. So, not an easy process, but 38 days in a row, boom. Every single day, we did it. And so, I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of improving my thumbnail game. And of just the things we've been able to do in the games. And of course, I am so happy with all the new people I met this year. I'm not gonna drop any names because I will inevitably leave someone out, but you know who you are, Some of you have been here before 2022, but I'm amazed at the new people I met in this year. That it just goes to show you that even if time passes by fast, at the same time it kinda doesn't. Or maybe it's because I vibe so well with some of you, that it feels like I've known them for longer. But I realized, no, I met them this year, and it feels like it's so long. But it was like March. Okay, yeah, it was many months ago, but sometimes, you feel like it's March and you blink and it's already November of a year. Yeah, time passes by fast, but then it also doesn't. But I think that's the key to avoiding time from feeling like it passes by too fast. Just experiencing a lot of things, trying to always be learning new things, if you can't do that though, or you're not willing to do that, which is understandable, experiencing a lot of new things does that for you. That's what I'm doing in the video games I'm playing, certainly with Final Fantasy XIV, for example, right? Because we're mostly talking about stories here. New experiences, right? Not sure if you've heard it here and there that you should spend your money on new experiences, not new possessions if you can afford it. Try to prioritize new experiences rather than new possessions. So yeah. That's what I would love to do, personally. So, we got a lot of new experiences this year. And a lot of new people that were part of those experiences. And thus, it makes the year feel longer. It makes life be longer. The human lifespan, at least from my foreign alien star cluster perspective, feels so short. Life is too short. Don't make it any shorter. Try to make it longer. Human beings are always trying to find a way, maybe, to make life feel longer, be longer. This is one of those ways, if not the way. As the Mandalorians would say, this is the way. Perhaps. So yeah, that's my advice to you all. As the new year comes in, make it a nice resolution to have those new experiences. A lot of the time, you may feel the contrast. If you have those days in which you just oversleep so much. I'm telling you from first-hand experience. You oversleep so much and you barely do anything on the day because you woke up so late. There's not that much that you can do. And the days just sort of really blur and blend in together. It's partly because of that. That's one of the things that makes that happen. So again, this is why it's really important to have new experiences whenever possible. And by new experience, I don't even mean like you need to reinvent the wheel. It can just be a new season of an already existing anime or something. It's characters you've seen before, mostly, but the experience is still new, right? So yeah, there's just so much there. There's just so much there that you can do that still works out, in my opinion. So I was planning to make more like a list of like the things I got this year and a list of New Year's resolutions, but I want to keep it more casual now, honestly. You can make the list though. I will be making a list of my own off the stream, probably. The thing is that list also includes some personal stuff that I'd rather not say here on the stream, so that's why I think I'm also gonna do it like that off the stream. There was one I did for this year, but I can't find it. I don't know. But, well, was there anything else I wanted to say about 2022 though? I'm very grateful with the things we've been able to achieve this year. I got so many Twitch payouts as well. Thanks to the kindness of Miss Weaver, I still will never forget that subathon, the first ever subathon. What an amazing one it was. Miss Weaver there, Adam, my brother, some others here and there, but they were the ones that went crazy with the subs, to the point that I got a really nice payout, and we blew all the sub goals out of the ballpark. I had to wear a maid outfit for the rest of February. You think I forgot about that? I didn't forget. I forgot to mention it, but I didn't forget it. Oh yes, the archive streams I think are still there for the rest of February. If you want to see some maid outfit Kaiden action, if you want to see that. yeah. Will we see a maid outfit again one day? I wonder. Do kana. But yeah, with that in mind, the other reason why there's been quite a few Twitch payouts, it's been the year in which I've had the most Twitch payouts. Now, do not get me wrong. Don't misunderstand this. Twitch is partly responsible for this in a good way, I mean. But it's also because of you. Because of you. That reminds me, I still need to see how close we are to the next one, because we should be extremely close now. Because now you only need 20 subscribers. Why? Because there's a $50 lower threshold. And when they lowered that threshold, it became a lot easier for me to get that. And that's why I've had more Twitch payouts than any other year before this year. So that's great. But again, of course, it's you absolute superstars who are responsible for that. Don't you see? Don't you see? So I'm hoping to get more in 2023, but I'm so happy with the way those things turned out for 2022. What a happy thing to say. To be paid for this? To be paid for doing this? Something I love so much? Something I want to do for the rest of my life? Pay me. Absolutely. And you'll find me doing it even longer. Because I can now afford to do it longer because I'm getting paid, right? That sort of thing. So, many things to be happy about in 2022. Honestly, in a way, it's been my best content creation year ever. My best streaming year ever. And there were so many pitfalls, man. I'm gonna also speak from a more personal perspective here, but so many awful things happened to me this year. Like, just dreadful. Like, I'm worried about my future if this is starting to happen. But at the same time, wow, what a beautiful year it's been. It's treated me so well in so many ways. I kind of divided it as like the first half was very good to me and the second was very awful to me, but it's not that straightforward, not really. So it's been a mixed year, but I can say some really good things have happened in it, and they're so meaningful that I can't call this a bad year for me. That would be very unfair to say. I don't think I've ever had a full calendar year in my life that I can call a bad year. I had ones that are kind of super mixed. There's a lot of negative stuff in them too, but there's a particular one where some very bad things happen, but then I experienced some things for the first time in my life that I'm so glad I finally experienced, that I just call the year weird overall. But this year though, it's weird and it's in that way too, but it's also both good and bad. I don't know, the more I think about it, the more I'm like talking about it like this, the more I feel like the good things do overshadow the bad things. It's a half full glass, if you will. So I don't know. No, and I've cried this year, let me tell you that. Off the stream. I want to cry on the stream though. I will tell you this though, you didn't see it, but I did have teary eyes for a moment. I didn't cry, but they got a little bit, what's the word? Teary, blurry? A little bit wet, my eyes, on some of the scenes yesterday, let me tell you that. But maybe that's my New Year resolution, to cry on the stream in 2023. There's many things that could cause that to happen. I can't tell you what they are though, but if they happen, you'll find out. There's many things that could cause that to happen. And well, I want them to be happy tears though, not sad tears or something. Oh yeah. I don't want to get into that kind of worms. The reasons why something would make me sad enough to cry, some of those things happen off the stream. Again, they're personal things I can't bring up here, but they're worth mentioning. There's been blood, sweat, and tears this year. Has there been blood this year, actually? I think I have, have I bled this year in any way? I don't know if I have. Huh. I probably have in some way, I don't know. I can't think of anything. Well, there's been blood in some way. Yeah. But there's been a lot of great advancement through things this year. I remember last year, I went through a huge soliloquy on the end of the year stream saying, this 2022, I am going to endeavor myself to work absolutely hard as the VTuber content creator I want to be. At the end of the year, looking at the entire thing, I did not work as hard as I said I would, but I still worked very hard indeed. No, especially at that first part of the year, again with the 38 Kamen Rider challenge, it was there. But then things sort of started falling apart in May when it came to that. I lost the consistency of what I was doing with content and all that. I was gonna do more covers on YouTube, this and that. Although it's not entirely my fault also because some of those, again, it's hard to find good instrumentals for them. The other option is to commission a new instrumental, but there's no budget for that right now. That's the thing. But the hard work I put in here really did pay off. And yeah, on other like things that are related but also not necessarily related, like learning Japanese, I did some good stuff with that. I'm really getting there. I'm starting to be able to read more, to read hiragana faster and recognize more katakana characters. That's gonna be one of the resolutions we'll get to. We'll get to that in a moment. But man. Overall, though, I can say it's been a good year for content creation. Now my biggest challenge for 2023 is figuring out other new things to do, other innovative things to do, because the most innovative for me was that 38 Kamen Rider challenge in terms of like being very innovative in the VTuber industry, in tokusatsu, in B-singer, utaite industries, you might say. Or well, let's not use the word industry, sphere maybe, I don't know, hopefully you get the point. But the other thing that's from a personal perspective innovative, because again, the whole polishing my skills, getting new skill sets, learning new things and getting better at them was the thumbnail game being upped this year. So improved. And I now have a nice like standard for the thumbnails that I can use. So that helps immensely. And so, yeah, that's basically it. Those are the things I'm the most proud of in 2022. So, let's wrap it up by talking about 2023 and looking forward. Off the top of my head, what I can tell you are my main resolutions. Well, there's one personal one I can tell you, and that is to exercise more and get better health. Avoiding like sleeping too late and waking up too late on certain days. That has given me some issues with health this year, which are really bad, and I need to avoid them as much as possible. Again, I sort of started establishing a routine that kind of helped, but it's not foolproof, sadly. Which is like playing a mobile game, preferably a turn-based RPG, on my phone or my Switch, while I'm like waking up. Like my body is still screaming to get back to bed, to the comfiness and the ultimate ecstasy that is bed. That's how I feel, at least when I just wake up. The best way to fight that temptation is to get entertained by a video game like that. Advancing through it, what is the next quest I have to do in this RPG? Oh, I gotta face the Elite Four now, that's so exciting in Pokemon, something like that, right? And this is completely off the stream, of course. This is why it still works to have some games that you play off the stream. Ooh, that reminds me, I'll need to get back to Civilization. I kind of got back also this year, but I didn't do as much as in previous years. Anyway, while I also already have a caffeinated drink ready, like right next to the phone that has the alarm and maybe the game, or it's the Switch, and I'm drinking it as I'm playing that for a few minutes. Sometimes it ends up being quite long, like a half hour, but I just grab it, I go back to bed, but sit in bed with a little pillow fort surrounding me as I'm drinking that and I'm playing that. But I'm sitting still. Most of the time I don't go back to sleep because I'm sitting and I have the entertainment, that digital screen in front of me, and of course the caffeine of the drink. You know, when I drink caffeine in the morning right after waking up, it's still not enough to prevent me from going back to sleep. I had something that happened this year a couple times. I took an energy drink. I downed the entire thing. I mean, I drank the entire thing all the way to the bottom. What is it, like 300 milliliters, I think it was? Or no, quite a lot of milligrams of caffeine. I drank the whole thing. I laid down in bed and then I was asleep for another 4 hours or so. I am not kidding about that. That was not hyperbole. So that's the kind of biology I have in this human form, okay? A biology that just loves to sleep, but at the same time, if it sleeps too much, it's consequential. It has consequences. The consequences. So that's the struggle that I want to work on the next year. Establish better routines. Like if I have a commitment, work or whatever, I will be on time, but I will be asleep up until the very, very end. I will always be in a hurry. I will not have breakfast before I have to start that commitment. Again, those are the issues I'm talking about. And of course, if I don't have a commitment, it's even worse, right? Say tomorrow, for example, I don't have a stream. I don't have any work to do or anything like that. So there's the danger of waking up all the way until 2 p.m. or something like that, which is what would really harm me. It gives me like awful headaches. It's been bad. It's just a lifetime of doing that. That's really catching up to me. It was already catching up to me. Now it's also catching up to me in other ways that I didn't foresee. Anyway, I digress. Health in general, I can tell you, is a better resolution. Just more exercising. I figured out something that kind of seems like a life hack for me, because even exercise video games didn't work, although I feel like if I buy a Nintendo Switch Sports, that one is really gonna be good. What is really difficult about these exercise games, again, my suspicion that I have ADHD, but I always have to set something up, and if I have to like rearrange my furniture a little bit, like reposition myself in front of like the screen, have to put something on my knee or on my leg for Wii Fit, not Wii Fit, for Ring Fit Adventure, or with Wii Fit have the pad, adjust the controller around my wrist. It's gonna be enough to not make me do it. My mind is just gonna be like, this is too complicated, these are too many steps to go through, this is gonna take an eternity, even if they take like 5 minutes. There's something that feels very complicated about that in my brain, and I just don't do it. The more I have to set something up to do it, the less likely I am to do it, unless it's something I really love to do, like live streaming. Yeah, there's a lot of things I have to do to set up the stream, but I love doing this, so I can go for that. But I hate exercise, and I hate it so bloody much. It's the bane of my life. So the more elaborate it has to be to even get started with doing it, the worse it is. Yeah, it was last year, and by last year I mean 2021, that I started. I got a Wii, not for this reason, but eventually I did get Wii Fit and the Wii Sports games, and I started doing a sort of routine, but then I stopped doing it. But the thing that always angered me, always like triggered me, always like make me just mauled and salty when I saw it in game was like, I just did like a 30-minute exercise. That's how it is in my mind, in my book. 30 minutes. At Ring Fit, this happened too with Ring Fit. But then in game, the exercise time says like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And I'm like, fuck you. For me, that was more than that, because the exercise starts before this. All the setup I have to do, that's exercise for me. Fuck it. That's gonna be part, because it's time of my life I'm never gonna get back, and I have to do this bloody thing. That's gonna be part of the bloody exercise routine. And I'm gonna count it. In Habirica, I'm going to reward myself. I talked about Habirica before on the stream, but long story short, it's something you do where you gamify your life. So if you have habits, you get rewards for that. You get gold, you get pets, cosmetics, etc. But yeah, I actually have been kind of off the Habirica website for a little while now. I need to get back to it. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, New Year is a good time to get back to it. Boom, January 1st. But what was I gonna say? I keep losing my train of thought. Yeah, just that. A life hack that I figured out though, because as I said, those games don't even work. And it's also the time after the exercise. I also hate sweating so much and having to shower afterward. Like, again, showering is another thing that's like, I always have to push myself to do it. I know that sounds very filthy, I'm sorry. I sound very stinky saying that. I do it as frequently as I need to though, pretty much every day. But it's still something I have to push myself to do. It's not something that's a habit. And I've been doing it for so many years of my life, for heaven's sake. It's not like I started doing it yesterday or this year. And even after so long, it's not a habit. Again, that's why I have strong suspicions of ADHD, but I can't say I really have it if there's no official diagnosis. You never know. But yeah. You know, jobs I've had before that I had for... One job that I had for pretty much 2 years. After 1 year, it was not a habit. I remember somebody told me like, oh no, yeah, it's just after a while, it's just something you do. You'll get used to it. No, it's not. No, it didn't work like that for me. No. 1 year, 1 year and a half, 1 year, 10 months, 2 years. It was never a habit. I always had to like push myself. That's how I phrase it. Hopefully it makes sense. Like, you know, there's two me's. I'm duplicated. Kind of like I do here. Or no, it's in the other screen that we have it like this, right? Let me see where that is. There's two me's, right? One of me is just like lethargic, not moving. Well, not lethargic, but just not moving, not wanting to get started with the task. And the other one is just pushing, like, start, Gaiden, do it. You have to do it. And it just takes a push, like pushing a car that won't start, you know? Not even a person that doesn't walk, a car that will not start. Or pulling me. Like I grab myself by the arm and I'm just not moving. I'm just like on the ground and I grab myself and I just pull all the way until it starts, and the push continues from there. Like once I start, sometimes I have to keep pushing to make sure that I finish as well. So that's something I want to work on. The life hack for waking up I wanted to talk about was, oh no, not waking up, sorry, for exercising that I feel like I want to do. Oh, by the way, we're having a 90-second ad right now. Let me drink some water. Tell you that life hack after these advertisements. Hopefully Twitch really works on that on 2023. The ad issue has been too bad, has de-evolved awfully this year. Well, sorry if you heard that. I dropped something there, but nothing too bad. Let me just chill for a moment. This is the last topic of the stream, by the way. We'll be finishing it after that. So many things this year that I didn't expect also. I didn't expect to be checking out all these new games. You never know what the year is gonna bring, you know? The biggest... Yeah, like if you find me on 1st January 2022, I would have never suspected a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game would get me addicted and feature it a lot. Excuse me. And feature it a lot on the stream, like Master Duel did. But the game did just launch later in January, and it immediately got my attention. Much less would I have expected Fortnite. Wouldn't have expected that at all. I was like, okay, yeah, Lotro, probably FF14, FF11. It was the 20th anniversary, that's why we started that, I remember now. Yeah, we'll continue with MMORPGs. I think I might have something else like Fall Guys here and there. I already had Fall Guys before that, sure. And I'll be working on covers and stuff, but no, unexpected Fortnite, and then a bunch of other games that I'm so glad I checked out too. Some games ended up not being that good to me, like Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, but I'm still glad I checked it out. Apex Legends also not for me, but I want to give it another try because there's a lot of people that play Apex Legends. There's a great benefit to playing it for collabs and stuff. But I was gonna say, oh yeah, another resolution I had for the start of the year was to finish by the end of the year. Finish all the content in an MMORPG. I think I was originally gonna go for Lotro. It was gonna be Lotro or Sotor, and actually I think I did a poll at the start, and Lotro was the winner. And, well, obviously that didn't work out. No, it would have involved going all the way until the latest content, like, I'm fully caught up with all the story that's come out in the game. But I dropped that, especially because I ended up starting FF11 and FF14, so that changed the plans. I probably won't have that same goal. I'm very tempted to play one of them off the stream, to be honest with you. Maybe Sotor. And maybe I'll have the resolution for that one. Depends on how much time I have to play it on this off the stream. I don't know, but I probably won't have time for that. I'll have other games to play, or other RPGs. I mean, Octopath Traveler 2 is gonna come out. That's gonna take my attention as soon as I get it. Gotta get my hands on that one. Gotta get my hands on that bad boy. Oh, such a good game. But such a good game, the first one. The second one looks like it's gonna be fantastic as well. But this reminds me. So the life hack. Reminds me that I wanted to talk about Minecraft. That's gonna be a resolution to play it for the first time ever in my life for 2023. It's gotta happen. I gotta make a big deal out of that like I did for FF14. Maybe I can do it at the start of July like I did for FF14. July 1st though, what date does it fall for 2023? It's a Saturday? It could be done. Or a Monday, so I can say Minecraft Monday. But alright, so the life hack that I've had for exercising is, one thing I love to do a lot is to watch arcade runs of fighting games. I'm one of those freaks, I'm one of those maniacs that likes the single player in fighting games. Apparently that's a rare thing, I don't know. I love arcade modes. This goes beyond fighting games a little bit. I mentioned this before, but to me, like, there's this mode called Mount Battle in Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD, which is like a long arcade mode for Pokemon, and that's a lot of fun for me. It's like the Pokemon arcade mode, in a way, and that's such a fun concept. Boss rushes are kind of similar to this too in other games, and that's what makes them so fun. So I love seeing those. Since I mostly suck at fighting games though, despite how much I love them, I also suck at them so much. Is that paradox? Is that duality that I have in my life among the many I have? It's better to watch some people play it sometimes, because it's like, you know me, I'm the sort of maniac that would want to play with every single character, but you gotta focus on one character to really learn them well. And I'd rather just watch somebody else do it, because then I get to see the characters at their full potential. You know, being able to use moves in the best way possible, all the combos, all the supers, etc. being used in that arcade mode. And I have the arcade mode experience. Most of them tend to have a story, but there's many that don't have a story actually. You picture something like King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match, there's really no story there going on. The same with 2002, but I would still watch the arcade runs for that one. So what I would do is exercise while I'm watching the arcade runs. This gets me entertained while I'm exercising, and it's also a fighting game, so it's something that gets me really pumped up to keep trying harder in the exercise, keep doing things so well. And I gotta get some things. I want to buy myself a couple of weights or so. I heard that weights are actually really good for your skin, for your health overall. Like I thought that, oh, this is for somebody that wants to be a bodybuilder. Maybe it does burn fat, but there's other more efficient ways to burn fat. But no, it goes beyond that. And I've been reading about that, so it's a good idea to have that. That's something I can definitely do while I watch. I did that the other day. Again, it's still extremely tedious for me to exercise. Like, every single second of that, I'm suffering. And after that, sometimes I feel good, sometimes I don't, though. So it's not like, oh, but you feel great afterwards. Doesn't apply to me, I'm afraid. Even if I don't feel good afterwards, it's still good for my health, though, so it's still necessary. So, again, I do it with that. Sit-ups, not sit-ups, squats, sorry. Squats, I have a rubber band. I do some rubber band pulls. I need to get back to doing that, actually. I also do some stretches, of course. And for me, the exercise starts also when the stretches start. That's part of the bloody exercise. So I already start the arcade run, and I start the stretches. So yeah, it's fun. I would get to do a different arcade run every day. Maybe it takes me a month to see an entire game if it has like 30 characters in it, right? A different character every day. It's a fun way to do it. And I think it's gonna work out if I do it like that, no pun intended. Still, it's still gonna be a hell of a struggle, but I'm gonna give it a try. But I do want to get back to the other games too, though. It's just that every single one of them requires setting something up. I have a dance pad, actually, and I have Step Mania. And that's the one that takes the least amount of time to set up out of all of these. Because it's right there on my PC, and it's just plugging in the thing. Maybe testing it a little bit, but then it works out. But yeah, it takes some setting up to do. The Wii Fit, you have to set up the board. I don't even know if I need to change the batteries right now, actually. You start the Wii, you go into the channel, you need batteries for the controllers as well. It's too much to keep track of, it's a drag. The same with Wii Sports, only that it doesn't have the board, so it's a little bit easier. But Wii Sports doesn't necessarily give as much exercise as Wii Fit. Wii Fit Plus, by the way, that's the one I have. So, such a ways that it's just gathering dust like that, you know? I went out of my way to get that special version. I bought it from someone who had never opened it. It was a brand new copy that was sold, so I think it's kind of rare to find like a Wii Fit Plus out there. Especially one that was never opened from what I saw. So it's again, what a waste, what a waste. And I feel bad about that. And then Ring Fit Adventure I also have, but it also takes some setting up to do. The sweating really freaking sucks, I hate it. But yeah, those sorts of things. So that's one resolution. My next resolution is to be consistent in content creation once again. And if I can figure out more covers. Again, there's a couple I'm working on. I need to get back to them. I recorded the vocals a while ago. What I'm concerned about is that I'm not gonna like them. I'm gonna find them that they're awful. I'm gonna find that they're awful, and I'll just want to record new ones, and that's where it gets really complicated and makes it take even longer. But yeah. Oh, and then the video. I don't even know how I'm gonna do the lyrical video. I really need to start keeping them more simple. It still works out to keep them simple. I just don't have the skill sets to do a very fancy lyrical video like a lot of VTubers do, and I want to have one of those. Super engaging, very graphically fun lyrical videos that people do. For me to pick up the skills for that, it's gonna take 10 years at least, I feel. It's not something I can do. I would rather just get the budget to commission someone to do it. To pay someone to do it. So, regardless though, I'm hoping to do more. If I wanna have an ambitious one, is to do more covers than I did this year, not counting the 38 Kamen Rider challenge though. Or more full covers, one that are not uploaded in TikTok or short form. Because I also had the Dragon Ball Super covers, don't think I forgot about that. One of those was a great hit, I'm very happy with that. And it's the same opening but in 3 different languages, Limit Break Survivor, just to clarify. But yeah. I would also like to do more of those for that matter. More like in short form, just the chorus of the song maybe, right? Just me singing like that. I've seen it, it became a sort of trend this year, a lot of these singers doing that. But then I haven't seen it as much of that lately, so I'm not sure. Not sure about that. But anyway, that's a thought. There's a thought. And eventually, yes, I want to be able to find the budget, get the income, get the budget I need to commission a new Live 2D model of myself and finally have that Live 2D debut. I've never had a formal VTuber debut, can you believe that? I'm saving that for the Live 2D debut. Why not? Why not, honestly? Might as well do that. So yeah. Yeah, as much as I like the things you can do with a Beroid avatar, I think this is a really great way to be a VTuber. I think it's fantastic. And I'm very grateful for all the people that did the resources I'm using for my avatar, for myself here. Live 2D is eventually the way I want to do it. That's the quality, that's the style I want to reach. And well, custom commissioning a model is also gonna give more room to express myself in the way that defines me the most. You know, in terms of my appearance and my branding and everything. If you think I look like a maniac the way I look like here, you think I look like a maniac like this, you haven't seen anything. Based on what I'm planning on the model. I have some references that already look so good. One big controversy that happened this year was AI art. And I confess, I did use a little bit of that. I never paid for any of it though. I just got kind of lucky with, I think a glitch or something in Novel AI. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was a glitch. I think it was because I was already a user. I mentioned this before, but yeah. Even long before they started doing the image thing, I already had a Novel AI account. I found it fun like a while ago. But yeah, probably created it last year, 2021. But yeah, I got a bunch of the currency you need to buy to create pictures, and I just created a lot of pictures of references that would define me, and many of them look incredible, like oh my god. But I would probably just use them as references for like the artists I eventually commissioned for. I hope they're okay with that. Like I'm not going to publish them online and monetize them, especially if it really is all stolen art, right? That's the problem. But it has been very helpful for me, and the images that came together from a lot of those are just so exciting. I'm getting a good preview of what I'm going to look like in Live 2D in that eventual day, if it does come. I want it to come. But yeah, Ask Kaiden Tajigen, Live 2D. What an exciting prospect, right? So those are 2 New Year's resolutions. The first one, to get better at exercising, that's a more personal one. But going back to content creation though, to be more consistent with it, to have more... Well, to continue with YouTube and have a consistency with YouTube, to continue this schedule of at least 1 YouTube stream per week. So far, it's been 2 Twitch streams and 2 YouTube streams. Another thing I would like to do, that's gonna be a resolution as well, to figure out a way to have 5 days a week at least for streams. Or well, there is a way, literally the only reason I'm not doing that right now is because it's like, you know, I gotta focus on video content as well. But if my situation ever changes where I can focus more on the live stream part of things, yeah, I definitely can do 5 even more days. That's the eventual goal. And I've done it a lot. We had a lot of weeks like that this year also. Battle Royale week, that was a lot of fun. Oh, so much fun with that. Celebrating Kamen Rider Geats and checking out so many new games as well with that. Returning to some others too. Yeah. And I like to have another themed week like that. I'll probably do like an adversarial week, battle arena or hero shooter, whatever you want to call that week. Paladins, maybe Overwatch 2, maybe Apex, maybe Valorant. Oh my gosh, will I ever play that game? I'm scared of that game, but I think I gotta play it. Team Fortress 2, another one we checked out this year. I felt like it ultimately wasn't for me though, honestly. I don't know, the game is just too old at this point. Most of the players are too good right now. You're rarely gonna find new players like me to be able to learn the game together with, you know? Like if I play Fortnite, I might be paired up with a lot of players who are also learning the game, so I may have a chance. I'm not new to the game anymore, but I will need to shake off the rust when I come back. It's been a few months already. And that alone is enough time, especially since it keeps cycling through new weapons. Some weapons get vaulted, some weapons return, there's brand new weapons. I think there's like a finisher move from like Deku from My Hero Academia, right? Like the Kamehameha, they also implemented this one from the anime, from the manga. But yeah, anyway, those are the resolutions I would do. To play Minecraft for the first time on 2023. I gotta do it at last. I've never played that. There's a... Excuse... Whoa! Ugh. Got a weird hiccup there, sorry, excuse me. Blah, blah. Yes. We checked out a lot of new games this year, but I didn't put Minecraft there ever, because again, I want to make a big deal out of that. And that may end up opening the floodgates to a lot of content, a lot of different streams we can do. I don't know what exactly it is you do in Minecraft, like, I know there's resource gathering and building, but there's many other things you can do instead. Like, you can just go to a server where you don't need to do either of those things. A server can lock you out of doing those, so you don't just go destroying people's houses or whatever. I don't know how it works, again, I've never played it, you can maybe tell me before I finally play it. That maybe even comes sooner than later, for all I know it's gonna be in 2 weeks that I first do it. I don't think so though, but you never know what life may bring. I mean, it didn't take long after the start of 2022 for me to start playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. That was a big surprise there. So, yeah, think about that, I am hoping to release another cover though for January. Like, I mean, another full cover in a video. I'm not talking about a short or TikTok, which are nice too though, don't get me wrong. But yeah. Another resolution. Can't think of any other resolutions that are more specific like that. Oh yes, another resolution is to keep growing that YouTube channel so that we at least match the current follower count on Twitch to the subscriber count on YouTube. Yes, when I started this year, the YouTube channel had less than 100 subscribers. Now it has over 200. Thank you so much, everyone. I don't take that for granted. A lot of the content I did really helped out with that. Doing the 30 Kamen Rider challenge really brought people in. Some of the other shorts, the Limit Break Survivor covers, especially the English one, brought great eyes on me. And now doing the live streams are also bringing some eyes here and there. I'm happy to see that. And well, some of these covers, that's great too. That's great too. Whenever it can be done with them. Another resolution is to figure out a more specific approach to the content. So that is, I am in a huge dilemma on what to do with the rest of the videos on the channel there on YouTube. Again, still dancing around the idea of returning to the Kamen Rider informational streams. Some of those will be remade since when I last made them. Some of them would be brand new ones that I've been planning for a long time. But again, the problem is once you have a niche and then when you go away from it, it's bad for you and your channel and your viewership. You can't spread out too far on a niche. It's like, that's the biggest dilemma. Again, I feel like I need a manager for this. I eventually want to hire manager services for myself, and that would be a huge help to me. Oh yeah, I want to be a VTuber with a manager. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm not expecting them to hold my hand either. Like, I just need help in a lot of these sorts of things. Just figuring out the path. Hey, just tell me, point me where I have to go. And yes, I'll do the walking. I'm gonna do the work for sure. This is a crossroads in which I'm surrounded by roads everywhere. And the thing is about these roads is that I feel like once I start on a road, I can't just jump into the other one. I have to start from scratch if I jump into another road. And that's a dangerous game to play. I can't do that. Oh, it's that sort of thing in which, you reach 100,000 subscribers, but then it drops to 0. This is hyperbole, of course, but when you change your content too much, something like that. Hopefully it makes sense. But it will be figuring things out a little bit better. No, I figured out some things this year as well. It's been really nice, but I can't stick to just doing covers because it's hard to find the instrumentals for that. I'll tell you what though, I need to listen to more Vocaloid music. I heard that a lot of Vocaloid music can be like that. I really need to get to it like yesterday. I'm so late to the game, to the Vocaloid game. Oh, Miku, sorry Miku senpai. She's my senpai. She really is my senpai. All of them are my senpai. There's also Kagamine Rin and Ren, was it? I don't remember. Both Rin and Ren. It's mostly gonna be the male songs. There may be some female songs here and there though, you never know. Because I could even do some of those in a lower pitch. There's like a Kamen Rider song that I've been thinking of doing in a lower pitch that I think could work really well like that on my own version with a lower pitch in that way. Yeah, it's something that a lot of cover singers do, or singers that have done covers do. Like when they do their version, because of their voice, it may end up being a lower pitch or a higher pitch, and that works too. If anything, that makes it fun to listen, even more fun to listen to in a way. It depends. Yeah, for the 30 Kamen Rider challenge, I made it my goal to make them all on the original pitch. So some of those songs didn't quite work because of that, but I still wanted to do them like that. I still sang well enough, I think. Some mistakes here and there, but mostly okay. But for example, we have a song like, let me pause the music. Or no, wait, no, Next Level. Next Level is a good example. Kimi no negau koto nara, subete wa genjitsu ni naru daro. I have to go for a much lower octave for that. If I go for a higher one, it's kind of possible, but extremely difficult, and it may not sound well after our recording. Kimi no negau koto nara, subete wa genjitsu ni naru daro. Okay, that part sounds okay, but then in the rest of the song it gets even higher, so it's bad for me. But then if I do a lower pitch, Kimi no negau koto nara, subete wa genjitsu ni naru daro. Erabarashi mono naraba. Kimi mo tonna ni tatakau tabi umare kawaru. Me ni mieru. Hi. Because when it gets to the chorus, it gets a bit higher. And if I stuck to the original pitch in a high octave, I would be dying right there. Dying. So, figuring something out like that. If I do another Kamen Rider challenge, yes, yes. It should be with the songs now finally modified to be a pitch that goes for my more higher octaves. I'm using some terms like pitch, octave, I say harmony sometimes, but I actually don't know a lot about these music terms. I need to learn more about that. Speaking of learning though, I don't know if I'm gonna make the music one a resolution, maybe I should, but what I can tell you for sure is gonna be a resolution is to learn katakana. To finish my learning of katakana, or at least when it comes to reading it, so that I can at least recognize the characters, even if I have to take a few seconds for some of them. We can work on the speed reading later. First is just learning them in the first place, and I've already done that with hiragana. What I'm working on right now is being able to read them fast, and it's going really well. I'm happy to say that. Well, the other thing is learning to handwrite them, especially from scratch, like without seeing the picture in front of you, like the character in front of you, like just from your head you can recall it. Long ago, when I really first started learning, in 2020, I started learning hiragana. I was actually doing it handwritten, but I stopped doing that. I need to get myself a notebook. Maybe I'll go shopping for a nice, beautiful notebook exclusively for these things. No, you know what I need to get? I need to get myself a whiteboard. I like to do it on a whiteboard. I just do it there, then I erase it. It's fun for me. I used to have a whiteboard here in my room, and I sometimes just wrote things in there. Like I remember a long time ago. This was with different whiteboard. I just spent that entire day just writing like names of books, names of albums that would make good books, of movies and stuff, because I love making lists. I'm not sure if I've ever told you that. I'm a list maniac, and I just literally spent the entire day doing that. While listening to music, I may have been watching a live stream, I don't remember. This was long before I started streaming. It's been a while since that, but I remember it distinctly. Like, just having fun doing that. Like, I love doing lists and not actually following those lists, apparently. No, I could tell you a list right now of, MMORPGs that I love to play, RPGs that I want to play, Guild Wars 2, I was gonna say Terra. No, that's not possible anymore, sadly. Guild Wars 2, Guild Wars 1, okay, I can't think of any more right now. Albion Online, Arcade, EVE Online, maybe. Right, I can't recall them that much more right now. EverQuest 2. I mean, MMORPGs that I haven't checked out ever. I could also talk about ones to come back to, like ESO, Phantasy Star Online 2. It's kind of a new game too, though, after New Genesis, so I may as well put it here. But anyway, it's fun to do the lists, but then actually like reading the books in that list, that's another story. And even if I do, it's something that takes longer. Of course, much longer than just doing a list, right? But it's still some nice dopamine for me, for some reason. Anyway. So yeah, those are the resolutions of 2023 so far. So exercising better, establishing a better exercise routine, improving the health overall because of that. Other practices. I gotta cut back on some sweets and some food. Also, I probably should do that. Let this holiday season be the last time I gorge myself on things. I don't exactly eat like a maniac pig, but sometimes I do overdo it. You know, grabbing a piece of bread, spreading some chocolate, some Nutella-like chocolate or jam on it at 10:30 p.m. in the evening. That's not good. That's what makes you get fat. So that's what I had to avoid. Not exactly, those are the sorts of habits, right, that I need to avoid, the new habits I need to establish. Yeah, like if you eat sugary stuff or anything with fat on it after 9 p.m. or a certain time, there's no time and there's not enough time for the body to process it properly, so it just ends up being stored as fat and you get fatter. Something like that is how it goes, I think. I don't remember the specifics. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, nutrologist, etc. Anyway, if I get any of those things wrong, you can correct me, that's for sure. But that's one. The other one, to play Minecraft for the first time. To continue doing more content for YouTube, to really expand the library. Let's phrase it like that, that's a good way. To expand the YouTube library immensely. In all the tabs. The shorts, the videos, and the live tab. Well, the shorts tab is nice enough as it is. And I'd rather not have people scroll too far before they find the 30 Kamen Rider challenge. At least not for now. That's what I like to do. I think that's a fun library to have around. The live stream library though, yes, I definitely want to expand that one. I definitely want to reach the end of the league building streams so that you have all of those. I'll put them in a playlist too though. So it's 9 streams. Eventually I might end up doing it. Ooh, this is years in the future though. For the 10th generation, whatever new region there is there. Probably. There's a thought. So there's that. And what else is there to say? Blah, 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 blah. You know, I think I'm gonna modify some of the teams in Sinnoh to add more Hisuian Pokemon. Since there's still many Hisui Pokemon that need to be represented, I think. But I digress. And yeah, also on the video library. Still could use more covers and other kinds of videos that will be good. There are a few videos there that are not covers. One of them is a meme. A couple of others are talking about something, talking about the 100 subscribers. And the 30 Kamen Rider challenge also. Like the proposal, talking about what it's gonna be. But, well, I need more than that, I feel. Again, I don't know if I want to focus on Kamen Rider. And even if I do, what else I want to do with that? Or I want to focus on VTubing? Other entertainment spheres, maybe? Doctor Who, maybe? Or just continuity in general in all media? Creating ultimate timelines of things. I've been having this long video idea of creating an ultimate timeline character history for each of the main Kamen Riders. So, ooh, that's at least 39 videos right now. I can tell you that much. And what else was there? Ah, yes. Here's another resolution for you to become a subscriber in Final Fantasy XIV. But I think I want to at least get to the end of Heaven's Sword before I do that. Oh yeah, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before. I made a decision on what to do with Fall Guys on the Season Pass because of the Ultraman skins. I was very tempted to buy it, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna have enough time to get to that part of the Season Pass before the season is over. So here's the better way to do it. You can still unlock the rewards after you buy them. Like, for example, let's say the let's say you get a SpongeBob skin at rank level 10. If you reach that, it's gonna tell you that you have it available, but only if you got it. Like, it's gonna show a lock, but you have reached the minimum requirements to get that. So the moment you buy it, it's immediately going to unlock everything you already got from the levels. So if I get to that Ultraman level, which is so far into it, I think it's like in 50, 60, 70, something like that. SpongeBob, I think it's all the way until the end, because it's the highlight of this season pass. Mechagodzilla, I remember, was there. I didn't get to Mechagodzilla either. Progression is extremely slow in Fall Guys unless you're winning, which is not most of the time. That's a very frustrating thing they still need to work on, I think. I think they still could make it better. Because there's also challenges, but again, a lot of those involve winning a lot. So, or just being very, like having a super great performance in the games. So, doesn't feel like it rewards you enough for just playing. Not as much as Fortnite does, not as much as Master Duel does. So I feel like they still need to work on that. But they've done so many great moves. It's been a great year for Fall Guys, free to play, adopting a more epic game style, at least when it comes to Fortnite, of the cash shop and the season pass. I think that was a fantastic move for them. Yeah, and also for the collabs. I mean, they did more collabs. Sonic the Hedgehog, even all the way to having a map. I want to see more collabs where they not only have cosmetics, but also games like maps in there. That is so freaking cool. Way past cool, as Sonic would say. No, seriously, that was such a great idea. I hope they do more. Maybe a more SpongeBob-based map. We've done a lot of like these water maps on this season. No, let's do one that's more SpongeBob themed as well. That is a Fortnite model of doing things, because what's been so great to find out about Fortnite now, I don't know when they started doing this, but for me it's a new thing for this year, because I came back this year after like a 4-year absence. And they not only do collabs when it comes to the cosmetics, but depending on what it is, They bring in weapons, they bring in map areas, they bring in attack moves, they bring in things from there, and they stay there for a good chunk of the time. Sometimes they come back, they get unvaulted. We're talking about lightsabers, we're talking about a TIE fighter landing in, and Darth Vader and a bunch of stormtroopers come out of it. You can get blasters, you can get Darth Vader's lightsaber if you defeat him. You get a Kamehameha, there's a Kamehameha with Bulma inside. My Hero Academia, one of Deku's signature moves. I don't know, I haven't seen the anime nor the manga yet, but from what I've heard, there's like a punch he does or a kick, I don't remember, and a signature move of his, you know? Wow. Maybe I should consider watching My Hero Academia, actually. I love when characters call out finisher moves or something, and that sounds like something I would like, right? Something that comes from being a Kamen Rider fan and a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, and Pokemon fan too, for that matter. They involve doing that a lot, you know? Somebody's gonna call something out. Sometimes it's not the character, sometimes it's like the system they use. Sometimes it's just like, instead of saying Laida kick, but the system is like rider, flashing, kick, 1, 2, 3, boom, something like that. Yeah. But more collabs like that in Fall Guys would be great. There's so much potential for that. And again, I played this off the stream the other day. It was nice to do it for the first time at last. I forgot to mention on the Fall Guys stream on YouTube a couple days ago or so that it's not just the Sunken Secrets maps that I wanted to check out for the first time, but also that Sonic map. I think it's only one, where you collect rings. You have to collect a certain amount of rings to qualify before a certain time limit, and well, before others qualify before you, because not everybody qualifies. You may get eliminated if you don't get enough. The first run I had of that went really well for me. I qualified extremely early. The second run, not so well, but that first run was great. Gotta go fast. It's kind of based on luck. As a lot of things in Fall Guys are, but it's still fun. Good. You just gotta pray to RNG Jesus, Lady Luck, and Father Fortune, the holy trinity of video games, or no, of games in general. Even a tabletop game, when you have dice, you pray to them. But yeah, those will be the New Year resolutions. What else? Is there anything else I want to mention? Well, I of course want to thank each and every one of you that have supported me this year. Thank you so much, Maniacs. I think no, it's definitely been a year in which there's been more unexpected support than I thought. Like if I look at some things like viewer numbers or like view numbers for a video, I think in general there's years that have been better for me for that, but or like the number of like retweets on something, something like that. There are some years that have been better for me than that, but I can tell you for sure that this year has seen the most growth and has had the most support ever out of all the calendar years in my VTuber, in my live streaming career, my content creation career, I should say. And for that I am so grateful to all of you for being here with me on this journey that is not stopping anytime soon. We're saying a farewell to this year. We're not saying a farewell to this. Unless my computer explodes or something, that's gonna set me back pretty badly, but no, seriously, it sounds like I'm being funny, but it's a big fear of mine. I would not be able to do live streams for a long time because getting the money for the PC parts that I would need, those things are expensive. You know, the graphics card I have is the same one I had about 5 years ago when I first assembled this PC, and it's the same with the CPU. And for that matter, the power supply, I never had any problems with the power supply unit though. Hopefully I don't. If I do upgrade my GPU and CPU a lot, I might need to get a new one because I might need more voltage. Not sure though. Yeah, that is a thing that I also need to think about. But other parts have been replaced though, like the motherboard, the RAM memory. Those at least are cheap to get again though, it's not the end of the world. Because I had that happen, like I had to take a few weeks off on some previous years or so. When that happened, when some things just stopped working. But just a few weeks, right? If it's the GPU that dies on me, guess what? That's gonna be Kaiden out for 7 months maybe. I don't know. I'm always being very pessimistic for those things. But yeah, I'm always expecting the worst outcome, honestly. And it may very well be that. But yeah. No, but seriously, we're really going back to this. It's been a great year of support, and I hope I can have more of that. Hey, let's start the year with a nice Twitch payout. Money! Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Because again, I feel like we're really close to that one. I need to take a look at it again when I have the time for it. Or I just wait for Twitch to send me the mail. Hey, there's a payout coming. Because we must be, again, 20 subscribers is what's needed. Then we're already like well over 10, I think. We're definitely over 10 at this point from the last time I got paid out. I just don't remember when that was. I need to check receipts and all that. Going through archives. And I will be able to figure it out from there. From the dashboards and such. I'd love to get monetized on YouTube as well. Reach that point. One thing that I'm not sure about, so you never know what the year is gonna bring. So many unexpected things came this year. Both good and bad. When it comes to content creation, most of them were good though. I can tell you that much. But I don't know what it's gonna be like with the live streams next year in terms of the platform that I stream on. At least for January, I think it's safe to say it will remain this way as we did it in December. Both YouTube and Twitch live streams every week. Like, I don't see why that would be different. But later in the year, maybe I'll stop doing live streams on YouTube. I don't think that's gonna happen. And I'll focus fully on Twitch again. Or I leave Twitch, not for good, but pretty much like in a very big way, in the sense that, yeah, my weeks are only YouTube live streams now. I mean, when it comes to live streams. And, well, I mean, that could be a thing that happens, or it remains a hybrid of both. If I get monetized on YouTube, and we get memberships, I mean, that would probably make me lean in the direction of the latter, of focusing more on YouTube than Twitch. I have a good reason to continue here on Twitch, which is the fact that I have everything very monetized here, and a lot of possibilities of payouts and such. That's very important. No, and again, doing covers might make it harder for me to get monetized. Figuring out other things might be a good idea. Refiguring them out, you might say. I don't know what the year is gonna bring, but I know I have some plans for it, and I'm hoping to meet them. Some of the personal goals, I think I want to go back to reading some books. Yeah, ever since around 2016, I've been taking a yearly book challenge, and that 2016 was the only year in which I met the goal that I set for myself. Like in Goodreads.com, there's that thing you can do, and I set it. Some years I set it a lot lower. This year I think I set it to be 6, and I didn't even meet that. So since 2016, this is the year in which I read the least amount of books ever. I must have read like 2 or 3, no more than that. Of course, your mileage may vary into what constitutes a book, because one of those books was like a short story book. You may say that each short story is its own book, but I'm gonna count the whole book as like its own book. Or well, some of those are not short stories, but a shorter version of a story. They had like an abridged Don Quixote in there. That was nice to read again, because I've already read the full Don Quixote. Oh yeah, 2016. It was one of the books I read in that year. It was like, I don't remember how many. 20-something books? I think I set the goal to be 24 and I ended up with 26 or so. That was great. That was great. So we'll see if I can do it again. It's difficult because I have so many interests. Like I'm trying to watch like 4 seasonal anime, tokusatsu series. There's some nice stuff to do in FF14. I'm playing games on and off the stream. Come on, man. And that's just my free time I'm talking about. There's time that's not free that where I don't get to do those things. It's a different story. And then audiobooks, audio dramas. So audiobooks, yeah, they exist in book form as well, but there's also audio dramas, right? They're not in book form in any way. Unless you get the script, maybe? I don't know. But well. Long story short though, I get very long-winded, you know me. And if you don't, welcome. We're about to finish the stream, but welcome. We're not gonna rate anyone. I just wanna end it like this, on this note right here. I hope it's okay. If we don't do a rate. Do keep connected to the schedule though. The year will start strongly. That first week of the year, yes, we are having live streams, okay? Probably the same as this week, a game, the league building, FF14, and then Japanese learning. Back to Japanese learning though. We're back to regular Saturdays of that, hopefully. The last few Saturdays have been special. I mean, Christmas Eve, Starlight Celebration, and then New Year's Eve right here, and also New Year's itself, depending on the time zone. But yeah, woo, well. Again, long story short, I am very grateful for all of you. We've established even more of a brand as Kaiden Tajigen, the multi-dimensional monastery, the portal, the Tajigen temple, all of us. I'm very happy with this outfit I got, man. Even if I don't get a new outfit next year, I don't think I want a new outfit. I want the life to be model now. But I'm thinking of maybe doing something with the hairstyle. I might commission someone if we can make it be a certain way. Just the hairstyle, because the textures would still be... maybe they would change, maybe they wouldn't. But I would love to have something done with the hair, actually. That's a change that might come, actually. Yeah. Watashi no kami. My hair. Ore no kami. But yeah. Keep on the lookout for that. And also the logo. Oh my god, that's another thing that happened this year. I made this logo you're seeing in the lower right. And you're seeing a lot of screens, of course. The assets that were used on it, I didn't make though. Like the spiral in the background, that supernova portal-like spiral, right? That's from the first sub batch, just very expanded to be bigger. The little stars there are from a free assets given a while ago by Senpai Gaming. And well, yeah, the font is a font I use that I found online, Superstar X, and I know, even the name is fitting, right? I have two fonts I use. One is called Orbitron, and the other is called Superstar X. Superstar X is always in all caps, so it's good to have another option that's not all caps for that reason. Sometimes I use others here and there, but no, really, those are the two branded fonts right there. But anyway, thank you so much for another great year, Maniacs. And here's hoping 2023 is also absolutely fantastic. So, even now more than ever, I usually say this for one day or for one stream, but my farewell message to you is as congratulations for the good work from me and for all of you for the entire year. I'll leave you this year with my best wishes and saying, Otsukaresama deshita.